Josh Toddy, Tara Palmer-Tompkinson. American Dream, Doug Stanhope. And their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, Sweden's greatest export, Ulrika Johnson. Funny Boyo, Rod Gilbert. And their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1 in 10 Europeans is now conceived on an IKEA bed? And for similar reasons, I'm no longer welcome at the Croydon branch of DFS. 26% of New Yorkers have herpes. If you can catch it there, you can catch it anywhere. And 62% of people think that being single gives them the chance to be more spontaneous. I've got no plans tonight, so should I sob myself to sleep or comfort eat? Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean, Tara, Doug, what have the nation been talking about?
George Michael. Hooray!
He was on crack.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, that's fair enough.
Tara, let's not people in glass houses. You think he's got a problem?
Yeah, I clearly think he's got a problem. But I like George Michael. I'm a big fan. I like his music, but I do think he does have a problem because he's on crack. He's caught in Hampstead Heath. I mean, how long have you got?
How dare he think he owns his own body and can do whatever he wants with it? How dare he? I don't understand why people that get in positions like that apologize. He's apologizing to his public as though he has any responsibility to...
Why is he apologising? Well, it does seem a bit odd, because most of the best music that's ever been created has been done on drugs.
Yeah, but not on drugs in toilets.
One of his fans has said he's done it because he's been on tour, now he's not on tour, and he's empty, he's got nothing to do. But I thought, when my granddad retired, he didn't start bumming and taking crack in toilets.
I think one of the reasons about the toilets, public toilets, there's a lot of tension in public toilets, especially men's urinals. If you're standing at your urinal with 5 or 6 other men, it's a very tense environment.
Yeah,
all you have to do is just do, like, a little shimmy, and it causes blind panic. People go, Jesus Christ! What's going on? What are you up to? They are very tense places, and there's also that I think he gets ideas. You know that nonchalant whistling they have in toilets? Where if you're in a toilet, you hear someone going...
What does that mean?
And it's really worrying when it stops. That's where I reckon he got the idea for the sax solo in Careless Whisper.
But they are disgusting as well. Bloke's toilet, basically, somebody went in about 15 years ago, got their cock out, started pissing and spinning round. And then every so often a member of staff goes in, signs the name on a wall and then walks back out again.
My favourite one is there's one on the A1 in the services, and it says on the outside of the toilet sort of thing, it says, these facilities are checked weekly. Like, if you don't care, don't check them. Yeah, we check weekly. They open the door and go, that's a shithole. Job done.
I went to Knutsford Services and it said this toilet will be cleaned again in 26 minutes. There's a big countdown display. I got to tell you, I like watching the toilets getting cleaned as much as you do, but I'm not waiting 26 minutes. 20 minutes is the absolute cut-off for me. So I know what I'll do. I'll have half a shit here, push on and try and catch the cleaners in Kiel. That's what I thought.
Right, let's have a look and see whether George Michael is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that George Michael has been arrested in a public lavatory again. George Michael does practice safe sex. He keeps one foot up against the cubicle door. Jason, Ulrika, Rod, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I think it's got to be David Blaine. He's supposed to be a magician, and his latest trick is hanging upside down for 60 hours. You're like, that's not a trick, is it? What happened to proper magic? When you see a magician, you want to go, I wonder how he did that. Not, what a prick.
Right, let's have a look at a picture of the little fella in action. There he is. That's him upside down.
I used to hate David Copperfield till he came along. Now I quite miss the spangly blow-dried ponce. His formula of magic, whatever he does, seems to be really awkward, plus time, plus catheter. They're all about things where he can't really go for a piss.
How does the catheter work going up? Is there a nurse in the house?
George Michael's on the other end sucking it.
I met him once, actually.
Oh, go on, what did you think?
Yeah, and I really did believe he was magic in the beginning. And so then he said, can I take your number? And I went, well, that's fine. He goes, I'll remember it, just give it to me. And I went, 0783. He goes, can I just borrow a pen? So he clearly is not magic at all.
But that's what's annoying about his endurance tricks. They've got progressively worse and less impressive.
The first one was good when he stood up on...
You know, so he's done that. He stood on a pole for a long time, right? He was in some ice, right? He was in some ice. That was pretty impressive. And then gradually, you know, now he's like, I'm hanging upside down for a couple of days and every so often going to have a bit of a rest. And I expect his next one's just going to be, for my next trick, I'm going to put some fruit pastels in my mouth and I'm not going to chew.
Jason, have you spent the first 2 minutes of the show writing with a biro?
Look at him. That is so funny.
Well, let's have a look and see whether David Blaine is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of David Blaine hanging upside down for 60 hours. David Blaine is hanging upside down with only electromagnetic boots holding him up. Let's hope there's not a power cut, or we won't be able to watch him fall to his death. OK, Sean, back over to you. What else do you think the nation should be talking about?
Golf.
Golf. What about golf?
Ryder Cup. Actually, Europe lost the Ryder Cup to America. I think the weird thing about it is the BBC say, and the Ryder Cup is on Radio 5 Live. And you think, no, it's not. It's on Sky Sports, the Ryder Cup. Listening to golf on the radio has got to be the most pointless experience known to man. If you were a mole at the course, you'd have a better idea of what's going on. You'd just say, like, oh, I think it might be in. You listen to it, you go, he's knocked it quite near the hole, and it's a bit nearer, and now it's in. That's it. It's just the most pointless thing. It's better off just listening to central heating. Is it? Use of your time. That's all the BBC's got.
Did you watch any of the golf?
I hate golf. That's not true.
Why'd you say it then?
You are like a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
I know.
I hate golf, or do I?
The big story in the Ryder Cup was Sandwich Gate. They called it Sandwich Gate, which was... Nick Faldo got in trouble because he was holding a piece of paper with all the names of the golfers on and how they were going to play and how they were going to line up against the Americans. And someone took a picture of it, and afterwards he went, no, that was the sandwich order. That was a sandwich order for dinner. That wasn't anything tactical. It was a sandwich order. Like, Nick Faldo, the millionaire golfer, is also doing the catering for the tour. You're halfway through, but Nick, get us an ham and pickle. All right, mate.
Have you ever played golf?
I have tried to play golf.
You've tried to play it?
Yeah, but I always break windows because I practice at home and it always...
You always break windows? Yeah, you should practice outside, I think, is one of the key things.
No, I play outside, but it's
Towards
a big
the
house.
You golf
Jimmy.
overhand?
The next one's in Wales, isn't it? Next
Yes, it is, yeah.
Ryder Cup. Newport.
Newport.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
No. Let's have a look and see if the golf was one of the most talked about things this week. I don't know much about golf, Nick Faldo, but if you can't get your players to chip a ball through a windmill and into a clown's mouth, you don't deserve to win. OK, Jason, over to you. What else have the nation been talking about?
Well, the front page of the papers were all about Gordon Brown having a kiss off his wife, and all the headlines in all the papers were kiss of life.
Kiss of wife.
Kiss of wife, of course. And stand by your man, that was another headline. Apart from the Daily Star, which headline was Robbie Williams in gorilla suit.
No, I thought it was quite interesting. It's incredibly well received, his speech today. And I thought there's a danger that Gordon Brown will think everything's going to be fine now, but I don't think that's the case. Because there's nothing that's going to save Gordon Brown. If he was assassinated, it wouldn't help him.
It's kind of like...
He could walk in with, like, Bin Laden on a lead, barking like a dog. Too late, mate. Too late. You haven't done enough.
Ulrika, do you support Labour? Do you like Gordon Brown?
He's like a bridesmaid who's really probably not meant to have ever been a bride.
If you're watching Spinsters, hi!
I did really quite fancy him when I met him.
Like, you know,
I did.
Oh, he did literally. I thought we were going, oh.
Yeah, but I did screw Svenja and Eriksson too, so that is slightly... Allegedly.
What do you mean allegedly? You just said it. You can only really do that about other people. Let's see if Gordon Brown is one of the most talked about things this week.
It's all out of mystery.
Yes, it was the Labour Party conference this week. To stabilise the economy, Brown promised tighter financial regulations, and so long as he manages to implement them, by April of last year, we'll all be fine. Ruth Kelly has resigned as Transport Secretary in order to spend more time with her family. It's bad news for Gordon Brown, and terrible news for her family. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What else has the nation been talking about?
Is it this thing about apparently 1 in £50 coins is a fake? And you can tell if they're frayed at the edges and it's not very good, you know, not very good quality.
Spin.
Not very good. Sorry, what are you doing there? Scratch
Very good
cards?
quality.
I'm not from the north, so I don't do the scratch cards.
Yes, you are. They said you can tell that these pound coins are false is because you can test them in vending machines, that reliable piece of equipment, a vending machine, right? And I thought, when I've done that, you have done that thing, haven't you, when you put £1 in for a can of Coke or something and it's come back out and you do, then the next bit you, like, give it a little, make it wet, like, lick it a little bit and then put it back in, see if that works. And then I always do this last one where I try and take the vending machine by surprise.
I'm with you,
Where I just sort of hold it there just for a second and then just sort of go, is that Johnny Depp? Vending machine.
I can tell you that fake pound coins was not one of the most talked about things this week. But yes, this is the story that there are 30 million fake £1 coins in circulation. You can tell they're fake because if you look really closely, the Queen is Helen Mirren. One more thing to get things on buzzers.
Stonehenge?
Stonehenge.
Tara, I don't want to be niggly about the rules, but if someone else says it first, and then you say it directly afterwards...
You said it, Tara, though, like it was a trigger word for an assassin.
So, Ulrika.
They've been spending a long time trying to decipher what actually went on at Stonehenge, and it turns out that it was a place of healing, potentially. It's a bit like a sort of A&E department.
You're right, they said it was hospital because a lot of the people that they found buried there had died from things like illness.
I want to hear what Tara's got to say, because you did say Stonehenge with such gusto.
I live near Stonehenge. Yeah, it is a place of well-being. Quick split, sunset. I always thought it was quite cool.
OK, let's have a look and see if Stonehenge is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Stonehenge used to be an ancient hospital. We know this because some of the patients from then are still on the waiting list. You can find out more about this story by watching Time Team, if there's absolutely nothing else on. OK, right, at the end of that round, I can tell you Sean's team have 2 points, Jason's team have 3 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Jason, you're to go first. What do you like the look of?
We're going to go with the monkey.
You've chosen the monkey.
Yeah.
13% of men believe a monkey could what?
Could talk?
13% of people believe a monkey could talk?
Men, not people.
Ulrika, we've all been hurt. You've got to move on. Let it go, let it go.
Is it carry a piano upstairs?
Could work.
It's kind of to do with work.
Could be a boss.
That's exactly right. You got it exactly right there. 30% of men believe a monkey could do their boss's job. Exactly right. Yes, 13% of men believe a monkey could do their boss's job. I prefer to see monkeys in their natural environment, cowering in metal crates, smoking B&H, with electrodes hanging out of their freshly shampooed eyes. I've just spotted a wizard up there. Hello, wizard. Sorry, we asked a question about Stonehenge and we really should have deferred to you. I love the Harry Potter films. Well done. OK, Tara, Sean, Doug, what do you like the look of?
Yeah, that one I should hammer all day.
He wants to hammer Sarah Palin all day long.
Do you?
No, not in that way. I think she's gross.
But you want to go...
When they say that she's like really hot, and then you go, on what planet is she hot? Oh, she's hot for politics. She's hotter than John McCain.
OK, so you've chosen Sarah Palin. America is gripped by an election campaign which could see its first ever female vice president. So we polled the studio audience and asked them, do you want to see Sarah Palin in the White House? What do you think they said?
I think one of the really interesting things about her is that really all she's done is she's told a very good joke. She went out at the Republican thing and she did that joke. She said, what's the difference between a pit bull and a hockey mum? Lipstick. It's a good joke, and everyone goes, oh, that's a really good joke. And the thing I liked about it is it reminded me of the time that I put lipstick on a pit bull. And he was already pretty angry about the suspenders and high heels. So... We're going to finish the job! So you're not a fan? Obviously not a fan at all. You're disgusted.
No, I'm not a fan. I think it's a cheap, transparent ploy to get women to vote for her, and I think the scary part is it could work.
It's working.
'Cause women build their lives on cheap, transparent ploys like romance and all these things.
I love the way you had them all on your side, then you just went, fuck off.
Let's get a guess over here. We asked our studio audience, do you want to see Sarah Palin in the White House? What do you think?
This audience, no way.
I can tell you you're absolutely right. The answer is no. 72% of our audience do not want to see Sarah Palin in the White House. This week, Sarah Palin was introduced to 8 world leaders in 48 hours. It was considered a success by the Republican Party because she only shot 2 of them. Sarah Palin brings beauty, enthusiasm and charm to a job that requires experience, integrity and common sense. So at the end of that round, Sean, Tara and Doug have 3 points, Jason, Ulrika and Rod have 4 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I give the panellists a simple statement, and all they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Here's a little clip to illustrate the statistic.
The city of Lincoln plays host to the Miss YTV contest 1980. One of the 15 lovely passengers is on her way to fame and fortune aboard this vintage fire engine. It's a perfect setting to find the girl nearest to perfection. The first prize is £500, a week's tour of Holland, and a year's contract to travel representing YTV at exciting events during the next 12 months.
Hello, Christine. Come and join me. Christine, you're a restaurant manageress.
That's correct, yeah.
Could you tell me how many staff you look after?
There's about 14 in all.
Any males?
Oh, yes, there's about 4 or 5. There's some gays as well.
Are there really? Do you have any problems with supervising males?
No, actually, because you find that they sort of share the same interests as yourself with being gay themselves.
Good luck with the competition, Christine, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Like Whitney said, they're looking for the woman closest to perfection. They've sort of ruled out perfection, haven't they?
They also drove her in on a vintage fire engine. I mean, it was pretty crazy generally. 69% of people prefer brains to beauty. True or false?
Can't we have a little bit of each? If it's a choice of extremes, would you have somebody really beautiful, though, if they literally didn't have a brain at all, if they were incapable of any human activity?
That's the only chance of me getting somebody like that, to be fair. And also one of those things, I've never heard any of my mates go, "Wow, you should have seen this girl last night. Well clever."
What would you go for, brains or beauty?
I always go for brains. No.
Well, you like tactics, don't you? Very defensive tactics, I might add. Lacks ability to use the wing-backs, that's what you go for. Someone who doesn't really use the wingers and bring the play forward. Doesn't connect the midfield to the attacker. It should never have taken Theo Walcott. That was a disgrace.
So you would go for...
I go for neither. I like thick, ugly women. It's just a roller coaster ride.
It'd be great if that was your taste.
Depressing, disappointing, worthless, hollow, meaningless relationships. And you can you can do 10 in a day and nothing affects you. You can never get enough. It's like crisps.
Tara, you went out with James Blunt. What were you going for, brains or beauty or...?
Size.
You're looking for a massive twat. So, 69% of people prefer brains to beauty. What do you think, Sean?
False.
I think it's true. I think it's
I've been
true.
overruled.
You think it's... OK, so your team thinks it's true?
Yeah.
OK, so you're going true. What are you guys going for?
I'm going to go false, then.
So you're going false? Well, I can tell you the answer is true.
Yay!
99% of people do prefer brains to beauty. The thing is, when you strip away the sexy clothes, the makeup and the French cut panties, what are you left with? An erection. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 4 points for Jason's team. It is neck and neck as we go into our final round, which is, and the winner is, OK, Britain's least popular present.
I bought my husband a Jimmy Carr live DVD.
You bought your husband a Jimmy Carr live DVD. Thank you very much for the money.
And he bought me one as well.
He bought you one?
Yeah.
What?
So
you
the
bought
two
each
of
other?
us. I know, isn't that weird?
Jimmy, the question was least popular present.
It was really unpopular.
Can't believe my luck. What's the worst thing you've ever been given?
My birthday's the day before Christmas, and my brother gave me a pack of 3 blank cassettes, one for my birthday and the other 2 for Christmas.
A pack of 3 blank cassettes?
Yeah.
Here, you like music, put some on this.
What about one of those adopt a donkey gifts that people do?
It's just really annoying. They give it to a village in Peru.
yeah, exactly.
And you think, I'd really like a donkey.
I've got one. You can have one. I'll give it to you for Christmas, I
Really?
promise. I really will.
Wow.
I had,
Yeah, I've got 2.
Where have you got your donkeys?
At home. I promise you, you're going to get it.
Do I get a donkey outside my house, or I've still got
If
this
you want him,
notion
yeah.
of a donkey somewhere? This
these-
might be. They might have shot
Yeah.
it years ago.
If you sponsor a child or a donkey or anything like that, get them to hold up a paper, today's paper with it.
yeah,
like a
yeah.
hostage situation.
Yeah, I'm going to give it. He's called Charlie.
He's called Charlie. He's literally a drugs mule.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave show business. I'm going to do
I'm going to
donkey
give
rides.
it to you.
probably not the least popular, but it's the worst thing or the most confusing thing I've had. My mother bought me a torch with the power of 1,000,000 candles. Have you seen those? Because I've got no notion of how bright 1,000,000 candles is, have you? I don't think in candles, to be honest. 100,000's got to be enough for any domestic situation, hasn't it? 1,000,000 candles for $3.99. That's
gotta be value, isn't it?
That's going to spell the end of the single candle, isn't it? That's for a start. Tesco's do them in packs of 5 for $1.99. You're saving nearly 400 grand there, aren't you?
OK, Britain's least popular present. I'll tell you, it's meant to be kind of a sensual thing.
Chlamydia.
Is it those bath bombs?
I'll give you that, yeah, near enough. That's a great answer.
Bubbles. Really?
Yeah. Yes, Britain's least popular present is bubble bath. Well, if they're not grateful for their bubble bath, why not throw in a toaster? OK, next question. Top way to annoy people on public transport.
I think it's voting for Boris Johnson is the best way to annoy people on public transport.
him.
Oh, what a surprise. He looks like somewhere on his body there's a zip. And if you unzip it, you can just get in him and pretend to be him for a few hours.
Is it hanging upside down in electromagnet boots?
Is it talking in the quiet carriage?
I had a woman, it wasn't in the quiet carriage, it was in the regular carriage, and I got a phone call. And I did that thing if, you know, you take a phone call like you take it on the train. So you take it a little bit quietly and quickly. You kind of go, yeah, no, fine, yeah, OK. And she said, in the middle of my phone call, she went, I didn't buy a ticket to listen to your phone call. And I went, it's one of the bravest things I've ever done. I went, I just have to hold for a second because a woman needs to mind her business.
Did you do that?
I'm quite street. Watch yourself.
Actual music, like really tinny, shitty music out the back.
maybe wearing
That's really annoying.
That is the correct answer, yeah. Yes, the top way to annoy people on public transport is playing very loud music. I hate hearing that annoying tick, tick, tick from someone's rucksack. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Tara and Doug have 4 points, but Jason, Ulrika and Rod are the winners with 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
On 8 out of 10 Cats, it's Smithy James Corden, American Dream, Scott Capurro, and their team captain, John Locke. And facing them tonight, loose woman, Carol McGiffin. Please stand up, Alan Cochran, and their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, being overweight almost triples your chances of dementia? Which reminds me, where did I put my chips? There are 5 times more languages spoken in Papua New Guinea than in all of Europe. That's absolute. And 19% of Brits change their favourite film depending on who they're talking to. I'd have to say Anal Graveyard 2. And you, Archbishop? Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean's team, you want to go first? What have the nation been talking about?
Barack Obama. I'm in love with the guy. I literally watched that speech and fell in love. I'm not joking. I was so excited.
He would turn me, but it wouldn't take much to turn me.
Truly, I was watching that thing, I was just like, when he was going, "We are better than the last 8 years," I was like, oh my God. I started to get actually turned on.
I find him a little bit sentimental, his speeches.
No.
They're very sentimental.
Come on.
It's all things like, yes, we can do it,
Yes,
we can change,
though.
it's a dream. And you think, who am I voting for here? The Lion King?
Of course, the other person running is John McCain. What do you think of his running mate, Scott?
I mean, I think that they're grasping for straws. They want their own Hillary, but they can't have ours. We got one already. I would have voted for Hillary over Obama because her dick is so much bigger. But...
Yeah, you go, girl.
He's what, 71, 72? She's quite, let's be honest, she's a MILF, right? Let's be honest, right?
She's not central again, I forget.
Mothers I'd like to fondle.
You're such a good boy.
I'm just that sort of guy.
I like the fact she's pro-life and pro-guns, which to me sounds like someone who's a butcher and they're also a vet. I'm sorry. We've lost this one. Get the other bag.
They didn't properly check her out, did they, before appointing her his running mate?
Yeah.
And now lots of dirt has come out, like her teenage daughter is pregnant. But it's a good job that she knows the dad as well, with them being so uptight conservatives. It just reminded me of a time a girl who was perhaps, say, a potential loose woman. The school slag, basically, got pregnant, right? And I asked my mate Dave who the dad was, and no word of a lie, my mate Dave, exact quote, said, "Well, if you eat a can of beans, you don't know which one makes you fart, do you?"
What a heartwarming story. Right, let's have a look and see whether the US presidential election is up there. Yes, people are talking about the US presidential election. John McCain has chosen his running partner, a woman, which is crazy because everyone knows girls can't run. Sarah Palin is very unhappy about her daughter's pregnancy and is considering using the morning after gun. Sarah Palin's got 5 children. One is off to fight in Iraq, so if you're watching the repeat of this, Sarah Palin's got 4 children. Jason, Carol and Alan, what have the nation been talking about?
Well, certainly in my house in Manchester, it's got to be Manchester City becoming the richest club in the world. We can buy anyone. This Arab bloke, who's worth 500 billion, let's say pounds.
Do you think it'll change anything, though, at the club?
Well, I think it's one of those things, Carol, where if it was any other club, I'd say it's terrible for football. Because it's my club, I think it's fucking brilliant! That's how it works, I think,
but
innit?
You know, famously, they don't drink, they're going to ban booze and everyone's, you know, dress code, all that. I mean...
I say good luck with that.
It's a bit worrying.
They've put a bid in for 130 million for Ronaldo, which, even though Real Madrid were offering 60 million, this guy's come and gone, I'll give you 130 million! And you go, how are you so rich when you're shit at haggling?
He's a trillionaire, isn't he, this new owner?
They're making up new words now.
Yeah, he's a trillionaire. He's 31. He's on the telly. He's younger than me. That's the more I read about him, the more he's making me feel like a bit of a loser.
Don't say that, Alan. Do not say that.
Hey,
I'm 33, Jimmy, and I'm not even a billionaire yet.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah.
He was 14 and he was already selling on the stock exchange.
No.
I was thinking, when I was 14, I was doing wheelies and chasing girls with poo on the end of a stick.
We had a guy at West Ham, I'm a West Ham fan, and we were really struggling with...
You were struggling? West Ham?
When was this? Don't act like you know anything.
Jimmy thinks West Ham something you get in a delicatessen.
So we're sat and we're doing really shit. I think we're losing like 4-0. The guy behind went, we just need a striker. We need someone like Michael Owen or Ruud van Nistelrooy. So, yeah, we know that. They're brilliant footballers. It's someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, we do, but we can't afford him.
Well, let's ask him really nicely.
I'm worried about this new rich owner of Man City just exaggerating the gap between rich and poor in football clubs, because this summer I actually paid £100 for a Huddersfield Town season ticket, and I got a letter yesterday saying that I now technically own the club.
OK, let's see if Man City's takeover is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Manchester City has been bought by a Dubai-based billionaire. Their aim is simple, to win the Premier League and annihilate Israel.
I was thinking...
I'm not laughing like that's a really good idea, by the way.
We need to kick on. Sean, Jason and Scott, what else have the nation been talking about?
The hurricane Gustav, which was supposed to devastate New Orleans this week, didn't. It just missed it, didn't it? Just went just off to the left.
I was watching it with my mum when it was happening. I came in...
Nice cup of tea, all get together. Come on, let's watch the floods.
No, I came home and she said, you're not going to believe it, there's another hurricane and it's going to hit New Orleans. I said, oh, my God. She went, yeah, it's already hit someone called Gustav. And I went, Mum, no, it's a hurricane, Gustav. It's called Hurricane Gustav. She went, oh, that does make more sense.
I've got two questions. Firstly, all these hurricanes keep hitting New Orleans, which proves my theory that God hates jazz.
Yeah, you've still not written up that report, have you?
No. But what they should have done when they evacuated, because all the trumpets would be left behind, wouldn't they? They should have nailed all the trumpets to a post, so when the hurricane hit, it would have blown like... Could have played like...
Look, there's always looting as well in this situation. I just think looting is a weird thing to... sort of a weird mental stage that you're thinking, everyone's going to die, but if I'm going to die, I want a 50-inch plasma telly before I go and use it as a boat.
Where are you going to plug it in, though?
Where are they going to plug it in, Carol?
There's, like, water everywhere. You can't, can you? Bit of a waste.
Yeah, that's the real tragedy. That is the Nick telly can't be plugged in. Let's see if the New Orleans hurricane is one of the most talked about things. Yes, this is the story that Hurricane Gustav hit New Orleans earlier this week. The city inspector drove down to see if there was any flooding, but when he took his Chevy to the levee was dry. Jason, Alan, Carol, what else have the nation been talking about?
What do you reckon?
Oh, I would imagine it's got to be the rampant fear-mongering about the economy, isn't it? There's just been so much... You know, every time you open a paper or turn on the news, it's like they're going, shit yourselves! Credit crunch! We're all going to be dead by next Friday! And I keep thinking, nah, I'm not. I've got tins in. I'll be all right.
It's serious. Have you
It is serious, but there's good things to it. There's good and bad sides to the credit crunch.
Good?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't think 125% mortgages were ever a really good idea. I think they were ridiculous. To start the life of the ownership of your home owning 25% less than something of it, that blows my mind. My maths isn't good. That means you can be standing in the house you've just bought, someone can walk past outside and they own more of it than you do. That's fucking mental, isn't it?
That is true.
That's a brilliant point.
You can't blame that on the banks or...
Yeah, no, I think you can blame it on the banks.
No!
It's only ever
You
gonna
definitely
work
can.
at the
Don't
end
have to,
of the
no.
bubble.
Look,
No
watch,
one's making
watch.
you
The
take
bank's
that low
fault.
now.
There, I've done it.
Stop saying that.
Right, can I just have a look at the ring on your finger? And you're worried about the credit crunch. I think you're going to be all right, love.
No, it's not real, all right? It's
Is it-
not
oh,
real.
well, how come I
so
can
don't
see
mug
it?
me on the way home.
Is it Elizabeth Duke? Is it?
No, shut up! It looks nice.
Oh, there's a credit crunch. It's going to be terrible. For the poor. Let them eat
Stop
cake.
Are you struggling in the credit crunch, Jimmy? Are you downsizing because
This
your
will
face
stop-
is getting smaller? So.
My face is getting smaller. They had to go somewhere.
There's an even better side to the credit crunch. The best side of it is a lot more people are enjoying the experience of shopping at Lidl. Which, as everyone knows, is really like being on holiday. In Moldova.
That's exactly it. That's
I'm in
exactly what it is.
Moldova. And you go, what is this? I don't know. I'm just going to open it and see.
Well, you do
Puffin hearts? I thought it was fuses. Oh, darling, we've run out of schnazzle scrodge.
Should we have a look and see whether it's up there? Yes, this is the story that Britain is experiencing the worst economic conditions for 60 years. Gordon Brown is considering a reshuffle. He's thinking about bringing in David Cameron as Prime Minister. OK, fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get. What else have the nation been talking about?
Gary Glitter has returned to our shores.
Oh.
And he's having to move around. Nobody knows exactly where he is. I think it'd be great if he turned up in Kidderminster. But people really, really hate him, don't they? They're really
yeah.
very angry with him.
I think it's the kids.
I think there's partly that. Also, the fact it turned out he was bald. I think those... I think those two together. Because all those years he had that big hair, and he goes, not only is he paedophile, he's bald as well.
I can tell you Gary Glitter is not one of the most talked about things this week, but Gary Glitter has been in the news. He's been released from prison and has returned to the UK. Now he just wants to settle down and have kids. After coming out of prison, I was wondering if Gary will remember how to sing. She'll be 8 now. Oh, why so mean? Does that make it worse?
Yeah.
Does it make it worse? Yes, it does.
All right, one more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the Cold War 2?
Oh, yeah.
Russia's revenge. So when I saw... Because the map come up on the news, like, and obviously we're there because of GMT, right? And America's there and Russia was there, and I thought, shit, we're right in the middle. We're right in the middle, aren't we? If they start bombing each other, one might come astray, and then I realised we're not flat, are we? We're not flat, that's round, that. There's a back bit, isn't there? There's a back bit. They could just go round that way, so fuck it. No matter.
They have got weapons that will reach us.
They don't need them. They got Putin.
Yeah, but it's, I know,
He's so hard, isn't he?
Yeah.
They just fire him out of a cannon with his fist.
Well, the problem that Europe have got is that Russia have a lot of gas and oil that we need. So, essentially, we need to stay on good terms with Russia.
Not if you're a Manchester City fan, my friend. We've got our own supply.
Is that why it's called the Cold War? Because they've got all the gas and the oil and they can provide heat.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
They turn it off.
No, is it? That's why they've waited till September to start it, because we're getting to... Is that the reason?
That is the reason, yeah. Let's see if the Cold War II is one of the most talked about things. Yes, people have been talking about the potential of another Cold War with Russia. The incident that started this has put South Ossetia on the map, just before the Russians wiped it off. At the end of that round, Sean's team have 2 points, Jason's team have 3 points. The next round is pick of the polls. Jason, your team first. What do you like the look of?
What do you reckon, team? Let's go Gordon Ramsay.
In a poll to find out which celebrity people dream about, Gordon Ramsay came second. Who came top?
Was God #1? He's a big celebrity, isn't he? God.
It's pretty popular.
You know, God. Have you heard of God?
Well, he can't be a celebrity, can he? Because we're not sure he exists.
I've got no factual proof Gordon Ramsay exists.
Well, Jesus existed, and he's hot. He's the hottest Jew on a stick, so I'd say Jesus.
Sorry, Jesus is the... What? How do you describe Jesus again?
The hottest Jew on a stick.
Sorry.
He's the hottest Jew on a stick.
He's the hottest Jew on a stick.
Yeah. You'd ruffle some feathers at a synod, wouldn't you? He's the hottest Jew on a stick. You go, Archbishop going...
I can see why Gordon Ramsay's there, 'cause he's always getting his shirt off, isn't he, on the telly? Every time he does that, Kitchen Nightmares, he's always talking about I'm just going to do my shirt up while I say, this place is a shithole, there's rats in the fridge, you're just going up there. Always there, just put your shirt on before... We put our shirts on before we come on the fucking telly, you weird, freckly-head bastard. What's going on with his forehead as well? What are those marks on his forehead?
Yeah, but if you're a chef in a kitchen, you've only got 2 hands, you can keep stuff in them.
Oh, I think he's nice and rugged.
You think he's nice and rugged?
Yeah. I haven't dreamt about him, though.
Who do you dream about?
Richard Madeley, usually.
Judy Finnegan will scratch your fucking eyes out, love.
I know. Well, no, she knows. But also, I had a really...
You heard it here first.
She knows I do that.
Top celebrity that people dream about.
Is it Brad Pitt?
Well, it's the right area.
Oh, Angelina Jolie.
Correct answer.
Huge. That's good.
Yes, the top celebrity people dream about is Angelina Jolie. I could show Angelina Jolie a thing or two in the bedroom. Here are 2 things. Sean, you'll go. What do you like the look of?
Oh, I like the font of London 2012. I think it's a great font.
It looks like Lisa Simpson giving a blowjob, though, doesn't it?
OK, you've chosen the Olympic logo. The British Olympic team arrived back in England, so we polled the studio audience and asked them, can Team GB match their Beijing success at the London 2012 Games? Yes or no?
Because we did very well at the Olympics, didn't we?
We came 4th.
I loved it. I got so into it, I thought it was brilliant.
The opening ceremony, everyone was going on about the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony. I thought it was like looking into a beehive. Can we get 14,000 people to bang a drum at the same time? Yeah, if you threaten to kill them.
The Paralympics have started, doesn't get as much coverage.
I think it's better in many ways. The wheelchair rugby is fucking amazing to watch. It's like the real Robot Wars. I mean that in a positive way.
Yeah,
it's brutal and exciting and brilliant, and, you know, the Smash-a-Lot won last time. It was amazing.
I'd love to see Paranormal Olympics.
Derek Acora going for gold.
Living TV, weightlifting, Henry VIII. 100 metres, run by a headless woman. Nowhere to put the medal. Just slipping off.
So, yes or no, do you think Team GB can match their Beijing success in 2012?
Yes, I'm certain of it.
Yeah,
OK.
no, of course it can.
All right, I can tell you the answer is yes. 78% of our studio audience think the Team GB can match their Beijing success at London 2012. I'm not sure the Chinese will want our opening ceremony to be better than theirs, which begs the question, where are we going to get our fireworks from? So at the end of that round, it's 4 points to Sean's team and 3 points for Jason's team. Our next round is called Believe It or Not. Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate the statistic.
There is a sense of fear going to funeral directors. But when they're coming to us, they're coming into funeral directors and travel agents at the same time. And we find that that mix have worked very, very well because to us, we're sending that person on a very special journey. So the funeral directing aspect is just an extension of the work that we do as travel agents. To me, it comes natural that I am preparing this loved one for that journey.
The important thing is to think you're working on someone who's very much alive, even though they're very much dead.
That was from The World's Worst Job in 1994. It was a travel agent and also a funeral director. It's a mental idea, isn't it? OK, 63% of people would rather have a DJ than a eulogy at their funeral. True or false?
Why are the two mutually exclusive? Why can't you have a eulogy and then a DJ?
No, because then it would sound like Faithless, wouldn't it, if you did it...
At the same time.
If someone was talking slowly over a bit of dance music, it's Faithless. That's what you're thinking of.
I like the idea of a bloke going ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Shabba! That send me off nicely, that.
I'd do it, but...
Rest in peace, rewind.
Obviously, the best thing to play would be Last Night a DJ Saved My Life. Poignant.
The thing
thing is, do you want to DJ because then you want to dance, but do you want to dance at a funeral? And then, really...
I don't even want a funeral. I've worked out, I've put down how I want to die. I want to be fly-tipped. Down a country lane. So I like the idea. I'll be annoying people even after I've died. People go, look at that's disgraceful, isn't it? I was there slumped over her head.
I think that planning your funeral thing's a bit vain, actually. What's the point in insisting that people behave in a certain way at your funeral?
So people go, I don't want people crying at my funeral. I want you to wear loud shirts, don't wear black. I want people crying for fucking years after I die. I want 20 women just dressed in black going, I could have had him, I could have had him. That's what I'm after.
What funeral are you planning, Carol?
Well, I probably won't have one because I want my body to go to science.
Oh, well, you've planned that. It's a bit vain, isn't it? I like a scientist to get the benefit of these.
In my will, I just want to ask my brother or my best mate just to go, listen, there's a little drawer under the bed and there's some videos in there and a couple of magazines. And burn my hard drive. Just get rid of it. There's nothing proper filthy on there, but just don't want my mum finding it.
The army do that, don't they? That's one of the morbid things about being a soldier at battle is that they have an envelope that they put stuff in that's to be destroyed, and the other stuff is the possessions that get handed over.
Can we get some atmosphere back in the room? No, Alan sucked it all out. OK.
Funerals,
so what happens with actual dead soldiers, then?
A couple of funerals...
Actual dead soldiers, though. Let's talk about what actually happens with dead men. Young men, what gets sent back to their grieving families, and what do they burn? Alan, tell us more. Dead soldier news. Hey, welcome to our 10 Cats.
I feel like I'm being victimised here.
Unbelievable. 63% of people would rather have a DJ than a eulogy at their funeral. True or false? What do you think?
I think it's true.
You think they'd rather have a... I think most people don't know what a eulogy is.
Yeah, I think it's true.
OK, so what are you going to go with?
I hope it's false.
Yeah, I'll go false as well.
OK, we'll go false.
So you're going false, you're going true. I can tell you the answer is true. 63% of people would rather have a DJ than a eulogy. You get the point. I'd like to have Dr. Fox as a DJ at my funeral, although I'd rather it was Dr. Fox's funeral and I was DJing. So at the end of that round, it's 5 points for Sean's team and 3 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. I'm going to give the teams a series of opinion polls. It's up to them to buzz in and tell me who or what they think came top. Here's your first one. OK, Britain's top lies.
Is it written by Katie Price?
Is it bang and the dirt is gone?
I've never said that after sex. Although it would be a magnificent way to end. Bang, and the day's gone.
I know what it is. I'm fine.
I'll give you that. The top lie in Britain is nothing's wrong, I'm fine.
Yes.
Oh.
OK, Britain's least talented celebrity.
Is it Barry George? Because he's only famous for one thing and he didn't even do it.
I think it's Mitch Winehouse. Because the only reason he's a celebrity is because his daughter is either ill or late.
I just don't know why I ever get told about celebrities like Amy Winehouse or even the royal family. When I hear about that on the news or in a paper, I feel the same way as I do when my mum starts a really long story about one of her friends from work. I just think, I don't know this person, I don't know why they're intruding on the peripheral vision of my life. But I'm hearing about them a lot. I don't wish them any harm. I'm just wondering why they're here.
Because it's a mum thing when they tell you a story and they go, you know Sue, and you go, no.
Yeah.
And that, you can slow them down, but you can't stop them.
Yeah.
They go, you do.
Yeah.
And then you go, no, I don't. And they go, well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sue.
My mum's stories go on for about 35 minutes and they always end with, so it goes on, you know Sue, John and Sue, you know John and Sue, you do know. Goes on and on for ages, you sat there, and it always ends with 5 minutes later, dead.
I'll give you a clue. She's a posh Spice wannabe.
Chanel.
Chanel, that is the right answer.
Right.
Yes, Britain's least talented celebrity is Chanel Hayes. Chanel's phone never stops ringing. Well, that's what happens when you work in a call centre. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the quiz, which means the final scores are Sean, Scott and James have 6 points, Jason, Carol and Alan have 4 points. Sean's team are the winners.
Hey.
thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, fastest man on 2 wheels, Chris Hoy, funny man, Mark Watson, and their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, Panto Queen, Jungle King, it's Biggins. She's a superstar, Jamelia, and their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 56% of Londoners believe that their lungs are healthy for their age? That age being the early 21st century, just before the planet dies. 60% of Spaniards say British tourists are drunk and abusive whilst on holiday. If you're watching, fuck off, Pedro. 28% of Germany's prison population is foreign, but that figure has dropped since the 1940s. And 52% of women in their 40s are married. The rest of them have failed. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. Jason, your team to go first. What have the nation been talking about?
Is it 3-time Olympic gold medalist Chris Hoy being on 8 hours? Have you brought the Olympic medals?
No,
with you?
he doesn't carry the medals everywhere. Or does he?
Go on,
Here they are.
Yeah,
You got
of course. Of course he has got them. You would, wouldn't
There
you?
you go.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Look at that. Well, Jim fixed it for me.
Is there any chocolate in this?
Chris Hoy being on the show is talked about,
but
mainly by us.
Okay. Yeah.
Not one of the most talked about things of the week. What have people
Is it
been
this
talking about?
experiment which might end the world?
Bring us down.
Basically, this experiment they're doing, they're going to get protons and neutrons and fire them at each other dead fast. And
Dead fast, like not just fast, dead fast.
No, like think how fast you've seen stuff go. Faster than that.
Is it the greatest science experiment?
It's the biggest. It's the largest experiment ever done, apart from Australia.
The British government have handed over £34 million for this experiment, right? Which is actually the same as giving everybody in the country a pint of beer, right? Now, what would you rather have, a pint of beer or possibly the end of the world?
If it is the end of the world, you are reigning Olympic champion forever.
But it's a bit cowardly to say, now I'm champion, let's hope the world ends. I'd almost rather Chris got silver next time and we didn't fucking die.
What I don't understand, right, why do they need such a big machine to do this experiment with these two little smaller-than-dot things?
I'm glad you asked me. No, Jimmy, you've been to university. You might be able to explain that to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I once went to a lecture by Stephen Hawking and he explained time travel and other dimensions, and I understood it for literally about 5 minutes. And as I walked out, I went, no, it's gone.
What it is, it's a thing called a flux capacitor.
Hello.
And if you go 88 miles an hour in a DeLorean, You can go back and save your mum from getting snogged by you. It's weird, really. An older one will come back and give you a sports almanac and you'll become like a billionaire, and that's time travel. There you go, Jamelia. Thank you. No problem.
I think that has summed it up nicely. Let's have a look and see whether the Big Bang experiment is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of the Big Bang experiment in Switzerland and fears that it may lead to the end of the world. The experiment will tell us what happened just after the Big Bang. If you're wondering what happened just before the Big Bang, a group of scientists in Switzerland pressed a button. OK, Sean, what else have the nation been talking about?
What about the bombings on the planes, the water?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The bombings on the planes.
Yes.
You made it sound like so much fun. The bombings on the terror trial, the liquid bomb.
The liquid.
Yeah. Very rarely does news annoy me, but this really, I've got to know, because this really affected me, because I can't take my usual brand of shampoo on holiday. These guys, they bought 32 consignments of hydrogen peroxide. And you thought, that's a lot of highlights, isn't it? Even if they've got one of those big beards. You want some? I'd love to see a fundamentalist with highlights.
I'd love to see.
They bought a flat in Walthamstow, and they had a bomb factory in the flat.
Sorry, they bought this house.
Yeah.
It's a bomb factory, and they didn't even make one bomb. They didn't even blow up one bomb.
No.
You're right, it's not a very productive bomb factory.
I can't believe your problem with this story is they're underachievers.
Okay, to have an employee of the month thing every year. They won't be on it.
I'm just saying, you've paid £138,000 for a bomb factory in Walthamstow as well. Yeah. Sorry. But, you know, at least blow up something. No, I'm in no way advocating
I don't think there's any
saying...
fundamentalists watching this show going, let's see what Jamelia has to say. She thinks we should blow stuff up. I told you!
They actually said, the defence was, we're not going to blow up anything, we were just going to cause a nuisance.
I know.
Cause a nuisance, which is like playing Wally.
What's Wally?
Wally. It's where you kick a ball against a wall. It's just called Wally.
That's called Wally?
Yeah, Wally.
Why would you have a name for that?
Well, you're playing it with other people. Do you want a game of Wally? Yeah, all right, I'll come and play Wally with you.
That puts your sporting achievements in the shade.
I got a gold medal in Wally, my friend. Just Wally. That's what it says on the back.
Let's see if it's up there.
Yeah.
Yes, people have been talking about the liquid bomb terrorist plot. The ringleader of the terrorists knows the Quran backwards, which is fortunate, as that's how you read it. Mark, Chris, Jason, what else have the nation been talking about?
What do you reckon, Chris?
The weather, maybe?
It's a very British thing, yeah.
It's funny, though, it's in New Orleans, when they had their hurricane, they had martial law. It was, like, really serious, like, stuff. Martial law, there was a curfew, you weren't allowed to go out the house. And the worst thing that happened in this country was 100 stressed sheep had to be rescued in Northumberland. And you wonder, who rang that in, and how did they know what a stressed sheep was? What? Oh, I'm soaking wet!
There was the heartwarming story, though, wasn't there? It was about the little girl who went down the stepped into a puddle, and she got sucked into the storm drain, and her dad saved her. And it was on the front page of all the papers, apart from the Daily Mail, because it was too much like good news.
They had the same story, but she was pushed down there by immigrants.
It was a lovely, heartwarming story. And I'm very, I'm not the most sentimental, but I was actually I wrote a song. I was so moved. A beautiful little song.
What now?
How'd it go?
Do you really? Yeah. No. Not I'm next to Jamelia. But no, it was a very touching story, wasn't it?
I want to hear this song.
You want to hear my song?
More than anything in the world.
Well, the song was... Leona went to the park.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to pretend to be Simon Cowell.
OK, thanks.
She was having such a lark. She stepped in a puddle, got into a muddle. In the storm drain! Storm drain! In the storm drain!
Very reminiscent of Nirvana's early work. Yeah, it starts very gentle.
Goes on. Don't not in the middle of it. I'm finished my fucking song. Dad got into the tears, but soon he was less miserable. He made a dash quick as a flash. He got her out of the storm drain. That's it.
Storm drain, storm drain. Yeah, we like it.
Yeah, we like it.
Can we be in your band?
Yeah. Let's have a look and see if the weather's one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, imagine that. The British have been talking about the weather. I saw a woman crying in her flooded front room. I thought, if anything, you're making it worse, love. Sean, Biggins, Jamelia, what else have the nation been talking about?
Posh Spice cut her hair. No, I'm telling you, right?
Sorry, end of the world, terrorism. We've covered those.
No.
Now the big story with Jamelia.
What is it? I mean, I can't wait to see it. I haven't had a chance yet.
It's called the pixie look, Sean.
Oh.
I don't know why I know that. Don't give me that look, Biggins.
You little pixie, you.
Things don't turn out right. 10 years' time, you could be playing a pixie in Panto with...
Yes!
You could lift you on his knee for a song.
Absolutely. We could do a vent act.
Yeah, we'll give it a quick go. Come on. So I would... Yeah, so it would be like that.
So it'd be like that. So...
Well, hang on a second. One hand's there, one hand's on my back. What's that other... Actually, nothing to write home about.
That's what you said last night.
Turned it to fucking Panto. Two blokes are going to come on in a horse in a minute.
I can tell you, Posh's hairstyle isn't one of the most talked about things. Jamelia. OK, fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the story that Barbara Windsor's had her nails done?
I'll just check that for you.
Andy Murray in the US Open?
Oh, my God, it was incredible. It was my best thing ever.
Not as good as me at the Olympics, though.
Yeah.
No.
Second best thing ever.
Well, he came second, which made me think that's more of a Scottish athlete. That's sort of what... Coming first, really, you've kind of broken the whole spells.
You know, you don't want to boast.
No, you may as well. Yeah. I want to ask you,
You don't want to boast, sorry. Everyone on your team's wearing a gold medal.
I couldn't stop looking at his sideburns.
Andy Murray did look like... He looked like a tramp. And Federer looked like a sort of a doll. And not a bead of sweat on him.
Well, he's sponsored by Gillette, isn't he?
He is sponsored by Gillette, yeah, he had to have a shave. I think that was maybe Andy Murray having a little hint at Gillette going, hello, for a couple of quid, this could be gone. If only I had a razor. How Scottish is that? He's waiting for a sponsorship deal before he buys. How much is a Mac 3? No. Let's have a look and see whether Andy Murray is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, indeed. Andy Murray was beaten by Roger Federer in the final of the US Open. It was the most successful performance by a British tennis player since Greg Rosetsky came fourth in Dancing on Ice. OK, one more to get fingers on buzzers.
Now, is it the American government's intervention in the credit crunch situation? It's a great support package, putting trillions of dollars into Fannie Mae. It is Panto, isn't it? Just say. They've got two major lending institutions, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Is the bank called Fannie Mae?
Yes.
Yeah, it's sort of the nickname of it.
I think it sounds like the best month of the year. Can't wait for April to be finished. It's Fannie Mae!
Let's have a look and see whether it's up there. Yes, this is the story that the US government has bailed out America's two biggest mortgage companies. It's going to cost $25 billion, which is crazy. For that kind of money, they could have another 3 weeks in Iraq. At the end of that round, Sean's team have 2 points, Jason's team have 3 points. Welcome back to 8 out of 10 Cats. The next round is Pick of the Polls. Our teams take it in turns to choose a picture from the board, and then they have to answer a related question. Sean, Jamelia and Christopher, you're to go first. What do you fancy the look of?
If I'm to be honest, I didn't actually hear the question, so I don't understand why we're looking even at the pictures.
Yeah. You've got to tell me the connection between all 6 pictures.
Okay.
Just you on this one, no help from your teammates. And this is the only round where you have to write it down. You have to do 300 words.
Jamelia, all you have to do is pick a picture down.
Sorry, I didn't know.
OK, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for the lady with the boobs.
OK, you've chosen the vegetarian. 58% of vegetarians what?
I've had this theory for a while, is that if you go to a vegetarian's house and they only make vegetarian food and you have to eat it, but if they come to your house, then they've got to have meat, because you're a meat eater.
Fair's fair.
My dad does it with cigarettes. He's a smoker. If he goes to a non-smoker's house, he's not allowed to smoke. But when you go to his house, you've got to have a fag.
All his friends are dead, of course. Never mind. So 58% of vegetarians what?
Don't eat meat.
You're very close, just remove a word.
Do eat meat.
Correct.
Do eat meat.
That is the correct answer. Bizarrely, 58% of people that say they're vegetarian actually eat meat. When I'm having a dinner party, I always make sure there are vegetarian options. They can make do or fuck off. OK, you've got to pick a picture?
OK, it'd be silly not to have Chris Hoy, wouldn't it? Sat here.
We polled the studio audience and asked them, would you rather win an Olympic gold medal or an Oscar?
What do you think?
It depends on the audience, doesn't it? Depends on their kind of...
If they did make a film of your life, who'd you want to play you?
One of my coaches reckons I look like the guy from The Incredibles, the father.
Yeah, you do, actually. He does that a lot. 2 tickets to the gun show, please. Right, I wouldn't mind. All he's doing with those is holding handlebars. Occasionally you've got to ring a bell when you're passing someone.
Do you, when you're cycling around the streets, do you wear an helmet?
Not the big, long, pointy one, but yeah, I wear a helmet.
Yeah, that one. Because my friend, right, she will not wear the helmet at all, right? She's like, I'm not wearing a helmet. And the reason she's not wearing one is because she says it messes her hair up, right?
Oh, should we go over to Jamelia for hair news? I'm afraid I've got to fuck off. Back to you, Jason.
Well, I said to her, yeah, but a road traffic accident will mess your hair up more, won't it, than wearing a helmet? Like, you don't want to be lying in A&E and the doctor come over and go, are you all right? You go, just tell me, is my hair all right? Well, you can have a look, it's on this plate.
Why don't we do an appeal to her now?
Wear an helmet, you dick. Chris always says.
Yeah, always says.
I don't wear a helmet. I cycled all the way through. I said it, I cycled all the way through the 70s.
Yeah. 1972, 1973, 1974.
Nobody had a helmet.
My dad says if you don't wear an helmet, you've got nothing to protect.
So your dad, he's a heavy smoker, he says, you're mad if you don't wear a helmet.
OK, so what do you think? Oscar?
It's got to be the medal, surely.
What do you
I
reckon?
don't know, I think Oscars.
I'm going to go with Hoy.
Fair enough. Because he's got his medals. Oscar.
You think Oscars? Well, I can tell you that you're absolutely wrong. 81% of our audience say they'd rather have an Olympic gold than an Oscar. Of course they would. Oh, God. Chris Hoy's bike was very expensive, but you've got to remember it was a joint birthday and Christmas present. At the end of that round, Sean, Biggins and Jamelia have 3 points. Jason, Chris and Mark have 3 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I give the panellists a simple statement. All they have to do is tell me whether they think it's true or false. Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
I went to the BBC and someone says, oh, Mike Reed's here. I thought, not my favourite DJ of all times. I was flabbergasted. Just as we were about to go out, I saw this gorgeous-looking guy. I thought, oh, my good God, I thought, he's an absolute cracker. So I turned round and says to him, is your name Mike Reed? Just like that. He said yes, because he was with Ed Stewart. Ed Stewart's breath stinks. But Mike Reed has got beautiful breath. Mike Reed is absolutely gorgeous. He is fantastic. He is tops. He was wearing his beautiful blue corduroy shorts. I playfully tapped Mike's bum. Tenders! Talk about the electricity going through me.
She broke my heart. Here is your related statistic. 19% of people would dump their current partner for a celebrity.
Oh.
What do you think? Is that true or false?
Depends who the celebrity is. I mean, Mugabe's a celebrity.
He's not, really. He's not a celebrity. He's not a celebrity. You don't see him in Heat. Yeah, you don't see him with Mugabe. He's got, you know, like, putting some stuff in the car and his, like, shirt rides up and there's a bit of flag.
I think a lot of people have got that thing in their relationship where they're allowed to, if they meet a certain someone, they're allowed to have a go on that someone. Who would be your choice of celebrity? Who would you go for?
David Beckham.
He's a man.
Have people ever invited you onto a show to get close to you, Jamelia?
No, but there are celebrities. There's lots
You
of
look lovely
like...
tonight.
Anyway, you embarrass me now.
Well, you're just saying you're looking lovely, so no need to be embarrassed because you do, so it's fine.
Even when you're talking, you sound like you're in a chat room.
LOL. Are you in a relationship?
I'm married, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That actually hurts.
But Jimmy, just press delete and start on someone else.
Biggins, you look great tonight, man. Chris, you've been a celebrity, like you've kind of a newfound level of celebrity the last couple of weeks. Are you using it to get poontang?
Well, my girlfriend's sitting in the audience, so I'm going to say no. One of my friends phoned me up from the pub in Edinburgh.
Right.
And there was a guy who was posing as me in the pub, pretending to be Chris Hoy, and he was chatting up a girl. And he went up and said, "You're not Chris Hoy, because if you were Chris Hoy, you'd recognise me." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry. How are you doing?"
Jason, have you ever been caught cheating? You've come up with a brilliant story. Because Chris has.
That's a perfect alibi.
Oh no, someone pretending to be what? No, me. So what do you think? 90% of people would dump their current partner for a celebrity. True or false?
True.
True.
You think true?
The way I look at it is this: it's 3-all.
Yeah.
They've gone true. If we go false, the gamble is they'll go a point above us. But if we go true as well, we'll either go 1-all or we'll stay level.
Can I just check in at what the total is? What's in the prize fund? Literally fucking nothing. Maybe you wanna...
I don't want to be the guy who's on Chris Hoy's losing team this year.
Exactly, we've got
That's
to win
all I'm
this.
saying. So, Chris Hoy, you're a winner. What do you reckon? True or false?
True.
We're going to go true.
Well, I can tell you the answer is true. Yes, 19% of people would dump their current partner for a celebrity. Of course, girls expect me to make them laugh in bed, and they're never disappointed. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 4 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Best way to make a woman feel beautiful.
Lying. Lying through your teeth.
I would say tell her, that's the best way.
Very good
myself.
answer, tell her.
Tell her.
I think you said towel her.
That
She's just finished a round in the box, you just towel her. Go on, go out there, you're beautiful, go out there. Beautiful, go out there.
Is it sneaking up to a window at night and trying to get her attention by gently tapping it, and then when she looks at you going, "You're beautiful"?
I'll give you a clue. There is a Glaswegian variety.
Glasgow kiss. Is it just kiss? A kiss?
Head butter.
Kiss is exactly right, yeah. Sport most likely to give you an injury.
Cockfighting. It's got similar rules to fencing. You don't have to wear an helmet.
I know one. Volley anvil. That's me.
Oh, the Olympics just got better.
Sorry, it's just because I don't know what the sport is. I know it's not swords, but you know that. What is it that they're throwing?
Javelin.
Javelin, that's it. Is
Not
that
swords.
I don't know.
Sword throwing is dangerous. Sword throwing.
Yeah, what about 3-day eventing?
3-day eventing?
Yeah.
I've thought of a way. We can cut the accidents by a third. 2-day eventing. Sport most likely to give you an injury.
Is it football?
You're absolutely right. The answer is football. Joey Barton recently broke a leg and an arm. I'll teach the bloke to look at him funny. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean Biggins and Jamelia have 4 points, but the gold medalists this evening are Jason, Mark and Chris Hoy. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
On the 8 out of 10 Cats Big Brother special. Joining the show tonight, celebrity housemate Vanessa Feltz. No, Rebecca, no, it's Luke. And their big brother, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, superfan Danny Wallace. The golden couple, Mario and Lisa. And their big brother, Sean Locke. The extra special guests, Bex, Belinda, Brian, Ziggy, Nikki and Charlie. And here's your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to the 8 out of 10 Cats Big Brother special, a show about opinion poll surveys, statistics and, of course, Big Brother. This show is recorded in advance, so I don't actually know who's won, but I'm pretty confident I've got the answer. Congratulations, Dennis. This year, the housemates purchased the following items: 88 bags of chickpeas, 74 bags of brown rice and 50 bags of lentils. I bet Mikey wishes he didn't have a heightened sense of smell now. 20% of Big Brother applicants still live at home with their parents. Sorry, that should read 20% of Big Brother applicants still live at home with their disappointed parents. And 70% of Big Brother housemates say they're looking for fame. Here's a tip: go to HMV, check between Falcon Crest and Family Guy. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories from this year's Big Brother they found the most memorable. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular Big Brother talking points. Sean, your team to go first.
I can maybe hazard a guess, you know.
Go on.
Well, I think maybe it's got something to do with our panellist Luke there. Because, Luke, you went into the house as a kind of sort of a strange sort of politician type. you came out... You didn't come out. That's the wrong...
I'm semi-insulted by that.
You're semi-insulted? Do you mean you've got a semi and you're insulted?
No, I'm just semi-insulted.
You're a bit insulted. Just looking at you, Danny, has awakened something deep within him.
But you came out, in many ways, as one half...
Please change how you say that. I didn't come out.
You minced out...
Thank you.
as one half of, well, probably one of Britain's strangest couples.
OK, let's remind ourselves of Luke and Becca's romance.
Oh, no, don't take your ball! I don't want you, Rebecca.
Yes, you do. Never do anything of the sort in Big Brother house.
No, Rebecca, no! No, I hate you.
I love you.
Tell me you did not just do that, Rebecca.
I genuinely think you make a really nice couple.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you go in there thinking that you would find love?
God, no. I went in there and I found this woman who drinks, she smokes, she swears. I don't drink, smoke and swear. And honestly, I became infatuated with her. It was like something off the Discovery Channel, looking at different species. But at the same time, I can't imagine not being with this creature, this woman right now.
Yes, listen, Luke, can I just take you to one side, man to man? When you're with a woman, yeah, nice not to refer to her as a creature. Even love or bird is fine. not it.
Bird is derogatory towards women, I think.
Yeah, whereas creature is fine.
Of course.
Sorry, my mistake. I'm learning from the master.
It was like the Discovery Channel, though, wasn't it? It was like when you see a lion eating a zebra. I think just
like a walrus eating a crab stick. Let's get back to the incredible relationship of Rebecca and Luke.
In the house, you said at one point, you said your parents were going to be deeply embarrassed after you kissed Rebecca.
Rebecca kissed me.
OK, whatever way it goes.
Wasn't that bad? I thought it was quite erotic, to be honest.
So, is that an admission you've lost your cherry?
No, God, no. Well, I've lost your cherry, but no.
Touch for the very first
You two can talk. Don't forget, I slept in the bed next to you two.
No.
And that was something like off the Discovery Channel, Jimmy. The sounds coming from them two was unreal.
What, were they using you as a condom, were they?
You and Becca start going to bed about 10:30, 11. What did happen? You never shared it with me. You never told me.
More happened, just didn't show it.
More happened, they just didn't show it. So what happened?
Luke, shut up!
The truth's coming out now.
Did you put your custard cream in a cup of tea?
No, that's Mario, that's all Mario's department. He knows how to dunk it better than me.
Let's have a look and see whether you're one of the top talked about things in Big Brother this year.
Yay!
Since leaving the house, it's thought Rebecca might have a bun in the oven, a shepherd's pie in the microwave and half a pasty down her top. OK, Jason, Vanessa and Luke, what else have the nation been talking about Big Brother-wise?
What do you reckon, Vanessa?
What about Rex and Nicole? It was a most insanely hellish union, wasn't it? I loved it. I was entranced by it.
I think one of the reasons I liked it was because I know people like that. They're in a relationship with someone that they clearly hate,
So
and you
do
go,
I.
what's going on?
I love the bit where it's like, what's the matter? Nothing. But what is it? There's something. Nothing. What is it? Nothing. Well, you should know. Fuck, if it's nothing, why the fuck should I know? What are you talking about?
Should we have a look at them in action?
Yes!
My girlfriend, honestly, she's absolutely amazing. My girlfriend is one of the most stunning girls ever. Oh my God!
Is it your girlfriend, Rex?
For my prize.
Ow! I don't want to be known as Rex's girlfriend. I want to be known as Nicole and my own self.
Don't push me away.
Please just...
Huh? What the fuck is wrong with her?
I want my makeup and everything.
If you were going to come on here, with a negative attitude like you
I haven't got a negative attitude.
And being miserable the whole time, that means I have to support you. So you talk to other people, but you won't talk to me?
Why?
Fucking bitch. What's wrong with you?
I'm saying get off me. Just I don't wish you hadn't come on here now. I heard those exact words.
No, I didn't.
You are pathetic.
This is like the worst thing that could have happened. Quite honestly.
For me, Rex has been the only one who's been himself all the way through from the beginning. The problem is, of course, himself is a right twat.
I don't know. Why do you say that?
I just don't like him. I think he's a greasy knobhead.
He's bright, he's astute, he cuts through the crap, he can make soup, he can make lunch, he's all right.
Yeah, but I imagine the only reason he makes soup is so he can stare at his own reflection.
Ziggy, was your relationship with Chanel as fraught as their relationship?
Probably, yeah. I think relationships in the house don't really work full stop, to be honest with you. It's hard. People are bigging people up and people are bringing people down and sort of go deep on everyone. But...
Can someone get him a guitar? Yeah. People bringing me up and they bring me down.
He did at one point say, he said to her, do you want a holiday or do you want a present? Right, and then he threw in, bearing in mind this present, Jodie Marsh has got one.
I'm mates with Jodie Marsh. She lives next door to my best mate. He's built his house so his bedroom overlooks her garden.
Is your...
That's a good vote. That makes him sound a bit like a stalker, Brian.
Is your best mate Barry George?
No! I like Jodie Marsh. She's cool. She does the thing with the belts.
That's her. You have to admit, she has got a little arse on the end of her nose there.
No! She's beautiful.
She has.
She's beautiful in real life. I think it's distinctive.
It is distinctive. As distinctive as a little arse on the end of your nose can be.
Charlie, you're saying Jodie Marsh is attractive, but she couldn't touch you, surely. You're a South London it girl.
Oh, can we just leave the whole it thing alone now? I'm sick of it. Honestly, I really am. And
Whatever. Don't cry.
I'm not bloody crying, am I?
All right.
For frick's sake,
I've got Alex back there. Don't kick off.
Hey, excuse me, Alan.
Let's have a look and see if Rex and Nicole are up there. This is the most talked about thing in Big Brother this year. Everyone's been talking about Rex's terrible relationship with his girlfriend, Nicole. Nicole was evicted with 94% of the vote. The other 6% were ringing a hitman. Still 3 more Big Brother talking points to guess. OK, over to you, Sean. What else have the nation been talking about Big Brother-wise?
You mean that?
First couple ever. The first couple.
Well, I reckon it must have been you two. You were the first couple in the Big Brother
Because at the
house.
audition, I'll tell you now, at the audition, they said, who's Mario and who's Lisa? And I went, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Mario.
And that's how we got on.
So what do you do for the next hour of your act? No, I'm not. I'm actually Mario.
Shall we have a look at some of your finest moments?
14 million people seeing him on the anthem deck.
Where we come from, we have a fan club.
I've done a hell of a lot of good in my life, and I mean, and he's done a hell of a lot of good.
Just maybe do one more bit on the back for us.
Where?
Just another...
Where?
Ooh, what's going on here?
On the top.
Come in, Darnell, come in.
I'm gonna...
Come in, man.
I'm gonna wait.
I recognise that big toe.
You've sucked it many a time, you should be.
Just dunking my custard creams into this hot, juicy tea.
That's very romantic.
Finished.
I've always wanted to ask this. Is there any part of your anatomy at all that you don't loofah?
Exfoliate. We are now the face of exfoliation.
We're getting to every crevice.
You exfoliate your
Every
crevices.
orifice.
The face of exfoliation. If you do it anymore, you'll be the skull of exfoliation. Let's have a look and see whether Mario and Lisa are one of the most talked about things this year. Yes, they are. Lisa is every man's dream. That is, if you're having that scary dream where one of your mates dresses up as Pocahontas. Some say Mario looks like Sylvester Stallone, which he takes as a compliment. But what they're really saying is, you look like an old Italian man who's had a stroke.
Stroke of luck.
I think someone's broken Lisa. OK, fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to get. What have people been talking about with regard to Big Brother?
Is it the spitting situation with Dennis? Horrible Dennis, when he spat in it. And remember when he came in, he said, I just want people to think, when they see me, wow. And I do, actually. I think, wow, what an horrible bastard.
Yes.
Quite right.
There wasn't a lot of liquid. I know that's not the most important thing with a spit, but it wasn't quite very much, was it? It's very light.
Very few people have been critical about technique, Sean.
Yes, yeah.
Excellent point to raise.
If it had been Jamie Oliver, he would have been splattered, wouldn't he? But
What? He may well have drowned if it had been Jamie Oliver's spin there. Well, I can tell you it's not one of the most talked about things this year. Surprisingly, people were talking about other things. This is the story of a gay man spitting in the face of Mohammed when the editor of the Daily Mail heard his head exploded. Dennis didn't appear on Big Brother's Big Mouth or Big Brother's Little Brother, and unfortunately, there isn't a show called Big Brother's Biggest C***. Still 2 more things to get. Buzz in if you know what the people have been talking about.
Is it when they let that lion in? And it killed half of them and they kept it from the public?
Can we write that down? That's a great idea for next year.
Is it when they dropped the toast and it didn't land on the buttery side and everyone was like, oh my God, it didn't land on the buttery side. That's just, like, amazing.
Is it Darnell and Sarah's weird sort of love-hate relationship?
Let's remind ourselves of Darnell and Sarah's relationship.
I see rainbows in the blue. I see rainbows.
He's walking like this.
She's a nasty girl, that Sarah.
Go on, Vanessa. Why is she
she's
a
a baddie. We've got names for girls like her. She's a prick teaser. She's a cock teaser.
I like it when they tease.
No, not if they never deliver. You've got to deliver at some point. And she's exploiting that boy. She's treating him like a little yo-yo. She is doing everything but
I'm
jerk
with
him
you.
off, and she should jerk him off.
She's done everything.
She should.
Yes, let's applaud Vanessa. Yes, she should jerk him off. The nation demands it. Get them back in that house and get him a hand job.
Give him some relief. He needs relief.
Finally, it's a political issue I can believe in.
He constantly moved himself in the shower. Mikey saw it. He told me.
Mikey saw it?
Yeah, that's what he told me. Please do that.
OK. Darnell and Sarah's love-hate relationship, I can tell you it's not one of the top 5 most talked about things. No. Sarah is looking forward to introducing Darnell to her parents, and Darnell is looking forward to introducing her to the mad professor that brought him back to life. Of course, Sarah is from Australia, so she should be used to being up all night on the red-eye.
It's disgusting.
Up all night on the red-eye?
I'm laughing at it. I don't get it, but I know it sounds horrible. You guys are talking about, like, I had a hamster once that was white and with red eyes, and it's not very nice. The hamster died. Oh, I get it. And I'm upset about the hamster.
If we'd known that, Charlie, there'd be no mention of red eyes.
Good. Fingers on buzzers. What else have people been talking about?
I think it's Mikey being the first ever cross-dresser blind man to enter the house.
No offence, sorry, is he genuinely a cross-dresser? But
no,
surely...
he shares a room with his sister.
I like him. He's honest, he's funny, he's witty, he washes his balls in a cup. You know, what's not to like about him?
What is that cup thing, though?
So what, he washes his cock and balls in a cup?
Why does he wash his balls in a cup?
Because... Why does he do that, Mario?
Well, you were about to explain. You went, no, there's no reason.
I never witnessed that.
But how does he do it? Does he dip him in? Does he dip him in?
Poor Darnell needs a yard of ale.
That's what they were designed for, the yard of ale.
Oh, originally, yeah.
Balloon at the bottom.
Let's take a look at some of Mikey's finest moments.
The hottest chili you can get.
Scottish climate. Best Scottish man. What the fuck is that?
Oh, Mikey!
There was that massive row, wasn't it, where he picked up someone's knickers. And it really got out of hand. And I was sort of going through it, I was thinking, what actually happened there was that someone took their knickers off, dropped them on the floor, and they were found by a blind man. Not any old blind man, one dressed as a rabbit. Now, you wouldn't get angry about that. You just go, fucking hell, how did that? Chances, you put it in your diary.
Let's have a look and see whether Mikey is one of the most talked about things.
Christ, we've got still got one to go.
Yes, Glaswegian Mikey was Big Brother's first ever blind housemate. Of course, because he's blind, Mikey won't be startled by the paparazzi's cameras. For 2 reasons. Mikey sometimes cross-dresses. He'll put his legs in the arms of a jumper. One more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers.
Is it potentially the most aggressive woman, apart from Charlie, I'm imagining, that has ever walked the earth? Alexandra. Charlie, just out of interest... See, already? I just said your name.
Is that your response to you're a bit aggressive is shut up?
Yeah. Charlie, can I ask you, who would win in a fight between you and Alex?
Do you mean physical or, like, mentally? Like, do you mean?
No one's going to win in a mental fight between you two.
Do you mean like that?
Yeah, definitely that.
Charlie, mental fights, I think they call them arguments.
Well, I'm not being funny. Oh, shut up. I'm
In a
not
physical...
being fight with Alex, because I'm not being funny. I don't do that. I'm like, that's so unclassy. But maybe she might... No, but come on, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go around punching up people, but...
No, be serious. Would you win in a fight, physically?
If I was to punch someone, I'd probably punch someone in the audience, because you know when they just get on your nerves sometimes? So if I was that sort of person...
I think we may have a winner in the aggression thing.
What do you think of Alex?
The bookie said at one point that she was as popular as the plague, but really, the plague was pretty popular, wasn't it? Because loads of people had it.
At the end of the day, yeah, fair enough. We all know she weren't a nice person. I mean, you've got the audience every time I go on something for Channel 4 or whatever. They're like, boo, he's so bloody boring now. Do you know what I mean?
Can we show it? Easy. Not to my Charlie.
I bet they still sit at their windows going, get Charlie out. You know, a year down the line. It's so, you know...
Charlie, someone get me the tranquilizer gun. It's for your own good. It's for your own good.
Get Charlie out. Get Charlie out. Get Charlie out.
Do you know what? No, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm off, mate. I want a fag anyway, so you can keep saying what you want. Because I said today... Are you lot? I got mans outside this building. Trust me, so solid. Don't do that.
Charlie.
Remember I told you. Yeah.
OK. Shall we have a look and see Alex in action?
Yes.
You were disrespectful yesterday and you're disrespectful again today. You want to carry it on this way? You want to play this game? We can play this game. Remember I told you.
You're a fucking prick.
Yeah, your mother. When you get up, you get yourself a book and find out what ready means. Remember I told you.
Oh my God.
Fucking fucked off. No, I want something for my throat and I'm not getting out of it until I do.
Big Brother suggests that if your throat is hurting,
He's just
you
not
quieten
shouting.
down.
For fuck's sake, don't tell me what my threshold is. Yes, a strong woman like me cannot fucking take any more.
Don't be a
You've
baby.
been going on for
Don't be a
ages and I've
baby.
asked you. I'll eat pasta. Remember I told you. Tell him I said to fuck off.
Easy. I'm kind of upset she went out so early because I can't remember what she told me.
Oh, no, she's really quite sweet.
Can I just say, look at Rex there. Wasn't he noble? Wasn't he great when he was going, don't be a baby? And he was quite right. Don't be such a wuss. You talk big, you don't walk the walk. And he was the only person with the guts to say so.
I lived with Rex for 3 months.
When?
Rex is used to being in charge.
3 months?
Yeah.
You haven't been in there for 3 months.
That's 3 months.
Yeah, they have, Sean.
To the Olympics. Goes on for 2 weeks. It's massive. There's millions of events, sports from that. But Big Brother goes on for 3 months. Fucking hell.
OK, let's have a look and see whether Alex is one of the most talked about things. Yes, indeed. We better be careful. Alex is packing heat. She works in the loading bay at WH Smith's. At the end of that round, Sean's team have 4 points, Jason's team have 1 point. The next round is called the poll with a hole. Jason, your team to go first, OK? 13% of Big Brother viewers think Luke reminds them of what?
Oh. Go on. Justin Timberlake.
The only person who thinks you look like Justin Timberlake is Mikey, isn't it?
Is it why they should have their 5 a day?
Frank Spencer! It's a monkey or Frank Spencer.
Thank you, Rebecca. I love you too.
The really annoying Paul Daniels. And I've taken into account how annoying Paul Daniels actually is.
Nikki, who do you think he reminds you of?
I think Frank Spencer.
So I've already said that's wrong, but you're still going to stick with it. OK. Good. I'll give you a clue. Think older.
Norman Wisdom.
Granddad.
Granddad is exactly the right answer. Yes, it is. Hope she doesn't get anything else right. That scared the shit out of me. 13% of Big Brother viewers think Luke reminds them of their granddad, but Luke's only 20, so he can't be your grandfather, unless he's from Wigan, which he is, so he could be. Sean, Danny, Mario, Lisa, you're next. 28% of Big Brother viewers would like to see Mario what?
Mario me? Oh, no, I mean...
Mario.
Mario.
Did he do that?
Mario me.
Will you marry me?
Is it a traditional Italian wedding?
Yeah, in Widnes.
Great.
On the Riviera to Warrington.
Going on a gondola, aren't we?
A gondola?
Gondola can be nasty. You've got to get that straight away. Antibiotics is the only thing.
I'd like to see Mario go back in the house.
I wouldn't mind seeing you go back in the house. You know, have a tidy round.
Yeah, see Rex.
It's got to get it ready for Big Brother 10.
Do a risk assessment.
Is it have a computer game character named after him?
So, what would people like to see Mario do?
Eat biscuits.
You're close.
Eat some biscuits.
To do with biscuits?
Advertise.
Eat them.
Advertise biscuits is exactly the right answer.
Biscuit.
No, advertise biscuits.
He gets it, advertise biscuits. 28% of Big Brother viewers would like to see Mario advertise custard creams. You know, custard cream ads. You know, the billboards and magazine promotions. Custard creams. Do it your way. You know, custard creams. Da-da-da-da-da, custard creams. So at the end of that round, Sean's team have 5 points, Jason's team have 2 points. Our next round is face-off. Our teams have 6 well-known Big Brother faces in front of them. Belinda, Nikki, Charlie, Brian, Ziggy and Rebecca. Question number 1 is to Luke, Jason and Vanessa. If you had to be reincarnated as one of those housemates, which one would it be?
I'd have to go... I think I'd go Brian.
I would go Brian.
I think it'd just be nice to see the world through the eyes of a child. Nice, that. It's so innocent, isn't it?
I think I'd like to come out as Nikki, just to have an amazing career. And, you know...
Oh, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Yeah.
What do you think, Luke? Who would you like to come back as?
I'd actually say Brian because he won the show and he's 100 grand richer, so Brian.
Brian, just out of interest, what did you do with the money?
Well, what I'd done, though, like, I went down Bas Vegas and we bought loads of cider and stuff, and then I went down Lakeside, and then I went to Blue Water and I bought a nice jacket, and it's leather and stuff, and it's black, and then I went and bought my mum a Jeep, and then, like, we go out down 195 now in Epping a lot.
Brian, sorry. OK, so who do you want to be reincarnated as?
I think I'd come back as Belinda, actually.
Thank you.
What I like about Belinda is she has a name to these times, and you should all do that. But don't do Belinda's name in the mirror at midnight. That's just a little tip for you. She will appear behind you like the Candyman, so...
You know why she does that?
Over the rainbow!
That's awful.
That's pretty...
Shall I do it for you?
Yeah, do it, yeah.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue.
Does this mean the show's over? Is that what it means? What, I'm just...
Just as a question, would one of them have to die?
Sean, you're not entering into the spirit of this. We're not going to kill one of them and let you wear their skin. Let me push you on an answer. Jason's team, who do you want to be reincarnated as?
Probably Charlie, and I'd just walk around with a picture of Alex going, see, I'm not that bad. Not that bad at all. That was a compliment.
I get them all day, every day. I'm sick of them, to be honest with you.
No, you don't.
All right.
You don't. Do you? You don't. What was the last compliment someone gave you? Go on.
I said... There judging.
I said my last
compliment.
Oh, sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think, and I don't want this to sound like a panto, but I think if we all apologise, Charlie will probably come back.
So, let's all... Charlie!
Let's all on three, let's all say sorry. 1, 2, 3.
You fuckers! Get Charlie in! Get Charlie in!
Get Charlie in. And thanks, Charlie. Very good of you to come back. Thanks very much.
You're welcome, Darnell. I didn't want to spoil the show, you know, an asset
Well,
like
this is the round where we're using you, so it's handy to have you back for that. All right, let's kick on. Sean's team, who would you be reincarnated as?
Charlie. She's just a big bundle of fun.
OK, so you're going with Charlie?
Yeah.
Jason, who do you think people wanted to come back as?
Brian. Brian, he's got a lovely mum, he loves her, he's got an enormous winkle because we all saw it, girls adore him. Brian.
You are exactly right.
Wow.
OK, Sean's team. If you were one of only 2 people alive in a post-apocalyptic Britain, which one of these housemates would you like to survive with you?
Charlie.
Why Charlie, Sean?
Because I'd always be the nicest person on the planet. I don't mind any of them as long as they promise to shoot me.
I'm guessing we'd have to repopulate the Earth by mating. So, Brian.
Girls are into me right now. I'm a bit of a spunk, as they would say.
I would imagine you are. Are you being a hero? So since you left the house, have you been getting all the poontang?
Not poontang, but like a bit of poonane.
Isn't that something they put on the chicken at Nando's?
Yes, it is.
You're not asked me yet, Jimmy.
Oh, no, go on.
It's Ziggy, because he's got a bit of everything and he's an all-rounder.
You'd like to, in a post-apocalyptic world, you'd like Ziggy?
Nothing wrong with that. Do you, darling?
No, I don't mind Ziggy. He's a great geezer, great geezer.
Thank you.
He's got the looks, he's been with Chanel.
Cool, calm and collected. You know,
You've got one hell of a night ahead of you.
Well, this sounds like some sort of internet chat.
A little bit scared.
Very open-minded couple. See...
Table for 3 tonight.
2 custard creams, 1 cup of tea.
Good luck with that.
OK, so Sean, who are you going to go for?
Ziggy.
So you think Ziggy?
Go
OK.
for Ziggy.
Yeah. And what are you guys going to go with?
We'll go Nikki.
OK, I can tell you, you're absolutely right. Yes, the housemate most people would like to survive with is Nikki. Let's remind ourselves of why Nikki is so special.
I can't get my MP3 player to work! It's not fair, I don't even know how to switch it on!
Hello, Nikki.
I can't switch it on, Big Brother! Oh, it's working!
Nikki, just out of interest, how do you think you would survive in a post-apocalyptic world?
What's post-op?
So there's no hair straighteners, nothing like that? Curling tongs?
Think Luton.
Yeah.
Before the end of the world.
Oh, before the end of the world. I don't really use hair straighteners.
We asked the public, in the event of an emergency, which housemate would you call?
Not Brian. It'd be like ringing Mr. Bean, coming round it. Be throwing petrol on it instead of water.
All my mates ring me up when they're in emergency stuff.
Can I lend
say
some
if-
money?
No,
That
they
sort of
ring me up
stuff.
like, when they've run out in Johnny's and stuff. No.
I'd love that if you dial 999 and they go, hello, fire, ambulance, Brian Bellow.
I can tell them what's the best cider. I still drink cider even though I had £100. See?
Brian, I'm now having an emergency. It's the middle of the night. I need to know what is the best type of cider. Brian, help me.
I'd probably go with Diamond White, actually. I wouldn't go with Magnus because that's a posh person cider.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian. I'll let you know how it goes.
Oh, Belinda, I've got no custard creams. It's an emergency.
Use your cock, you bellend.
OK, so let's go. Lisa, what was your answer? What do you want to go with?
Belinda.
You want to go with Belinda?
Belinda.
We've got to overrule this. This is madness. You call Ziggy in an emergency.
Go on, then.
Really? Why?
Well, there's no joke there. You were just literally looking at them. You'd call Ziggy.
So you want to go Ziggy, they want to go Belinda. Who are you going to go with?
A Belinda.
You're going to go Belinda. OK, he's overruled you. He's gone
Which
Belinda.
one's
I can
that?
tell you the answer is, in the event of emergency, the housemate most people would like to call is Belinda.
Well done.
Belinda introduces herself as Belinda, 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 because she says if you say something 3 times, people remember it. Stop singing, stop singing, stop singing.
Do you know I've actually performed at the Queen Elizabeth Hall, so it's not... I mean, I'm actually quite good.
In bloody years, lying to me again. Well, at the end of that round, Sean's team have 6 points, Jason's team have 4 points. And the winner is the name of our final round. I'm going to give the teams a series of opinion polls based on Big Brother. It's up to them to buzz in and tell me who or what they think came top. Here is your first one. OK, person you'd most like to be in the Big Brother house with.
What? Robert Mugabe. And I tell you what, that guy's a character.
What do you think, Lee?
E.T.
Oh, no. E.T.? Similar skin tone, yeah.
Is it you? Because we're used to seeing you in, like, dapper, your hair's all nice and all that sort of stuff, but can you imagine, like, in the morning on day 24, just, like, coming out in your boxers, all a bit scruffy?
I don't think
like,
anyone
shouting
wants
at
to
someone,
see...
Who ate my couscous? Like...
Has someone eaten my fucking couscous? I don't think the nation's ready to watch me wash my balls in a cup. This will take a while, they're fucking massive.
They're not massive, they're filthy.
Okay.
I want to go to bed.
You guys, over there, Nikki, remember we're doing a TV show?
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Ryan.
Correct answer. Hey. People genuinely seem to love you, Brian.
I said they all love me. See,
They do, yeah. They do, though. As you can see, Brian is here tonight. We didn't book him, we just ordered pizza. Last question. Housemate's biggest fear on leaving the Big Brother house? What do you think?
Being booed.
Being booed?
Definitely.
Being booed
Yeah.
is not it, weirdly.
Hated. Really?
Sort of.
Is it you coming out and everyone's dead? Like an episode of Twilight Zone?
Well, you come out and there's nobody there, just a couple of minicabs.
What
And they're not even licensed.
Nikki, what was your biggest fear when you came out?
That it would be cold.
Is it that you might have to get a proper job and learn a trade rather than just pretending to be famous and opening
They are all
Tesco's?
scared of that, but it's not the top answer.
Rebecca and I opened a Lidl in Coventry last week.
You opened a Lidl.
It's true, yes. We sat there as people... It was a good scam by Lidl because they wouldn't let us come to autographs until they bought something from Lidl. Then they had to come through the checkout to see us, and we gave them 25% off vouchers. And then on the way home, we got Lidl goodie bags.
You got a free goodie bag from Lidl.
Free goodie bag.
That's a baddie bag, isn't it? OK, I'll give you the answer. The top fear of Big Brother housemates on leaving the Big Brother house was disappearing from TV. Of course, after Big Brother, contestants can look forward to appearing on before they weren't famous. Most Big Brother housemates are hungry for fame. Mo would like some chips. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Jason's team have 4 points, but the winner is Sean and his team with 7 points. Congratulations, Sean. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
Princess of Darkness, Kelly Osbourne. Hair-raising funny man, Andy Zaltzman. And their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, Hot Puppet, Alex Zane. Canada Dry, Stuart Francis. And their team captain, John Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, on average in the Northern Hemisphere, January is the coldest month of the year. However, if you were in Australia, you'd be surrounded by twats. 30% of us refuse to sit on a public toilet seat, which is perhaps why there's shit all over the floor. And the longest kiss on record lasted 130 hours. I'd like to see 2 beautiful women try and beat that. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been talking about this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean, your team to go first.
I think people have been talking about the story about Starbucks, that they leave a tap running in every single Starbucks all throughout the world. And apparently it's that the Starbucks excuse, because obviously it's caused shock and horror as a waste, Starbucks excuse is that it's for hygiene reasons, because they put the spoons in it. So although it's not very hygienic, a tap running, isn't it? Because it attracts cats to sort of pour it. They love pouring the tap water, don't they? How ill can you get from a teaspoon? Anyway, I've got teaspoons in my house. They're disgusting. They look like they've passed through a Shire horse. I'm fine. Do you think there's a special hospital ward with people who can just blink one eyelid because they had a dirty teaspoon?
I'll tell you how ill you can get. Have you seen Pete Doherty?
Yeah.
That's all from teaspoons.
I had a friend in high school whose mother found out she was doing drugs and she had antique spoons that she'd destroyed, and that was what she was more upset with than the fact that her daughter was doing heroin. That she ruined her antique spoons.
Her daughter was doing heroin. She's gone, you've cooked up in the good spoons. You're a disgrace.
Well, you can make a new daughter, but you'd have to buy a new spoon.
You said that, Andy, like you'd make one in a lab.
You look at Zaltzman, you think he might have made a kid in a lab.
I don't know how you can waste water. We've got the same amount of water as we've ever had. We're mostly water. The problem is it's in the wrong place. It's in Starbucks rather than Africa. That's the problem. The only people wasting water are people going into space when it don't come back. That's the only people wasting water.
Damn you, Aldrin! Did you know that Starbucks is an anagram of burst taps? It's not.
It's not.
I just like to cheat. Nobody really checks up on anagrams. They just assume you've done the work. They go, oh, really? Nobody goes, hold on a sec.
That is a shocking indictment on our studio audience that they went, yeah!
You go into Starbucks, they do the fair trade question now. They go, do you want that as a fair trade coffee? And who in that situation goes, no, I want the other one. I don't want the fair trade, I want the Exploito. Give me the Exploito. Yeah, really want to hurt some farmers, make it massive and put a picture of a crying child on it for me.
Let's see if Starbucks is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, Starbucks have been accused of wasting water by leaving taps constantly running. Starbucks have said the practice exists to exceed health and safety standards and they're working on an alternative solution as a priority. I've got a solution for you. What's that? And then that. Jason, Kelly, Andy, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Andy?
Well, I think probably the American election has got the world really excited. Whoever wins on November the 4th, by virtue of following George W. Bush into the White House, they will seem to have been one of the 5 greatest presidents in American history. Following Bush into the White House is a bit like following Mozart in a triple jump competition. Because no matter how bad you are, he's been dead since the 18th century.
Palin accused Barack Obama of, palling around with terrorists.
Yeah.
And ironically, she excused herself because she had a lunch date with George W. Bush.
It's a funny phrase, though, isn't it, that she was palling around with terrorists. He's got some very loose ties with a bloke who 40 years ago was part of an anti-Vietnam War demonstration.
What's wrong with that?
Well, he did bomb the Pentagon.
Oh.
Barack Obama is an anagram of Bomb America.
There's still a few at the back where it started.
But it might be. You don't know. You've got to check it.
Can I throw you a curveball with Sarah Palin?
Yeah, baby.
She is so evil, she's sexy.
Alex, who are you? Like, what goes on in your brain?
Like, once she's killed all the polar bears, I want her to walk up and down my back in those heels.
Do you have a girlfriend? No wonder.
It's like a chat room on Bebo. One of her main character traits to sell her on is the fact that she shot a bear. When has that been a good thing? Like, vote for me, I threw a brick at a swan. Vote for me, I put mustard on a cat's arse. I'd want to vote for someone who said, vote for me, I opened the window for flies.
I can tell you it's not one of the most talked about things this week. This is the story of mudslinging in the US election. Sarah Palin called Obama an embarrassment, which is the pot calling the kettle black, which thankfully she didn't say. What else have the nation been talking about?
I think O.J. Simpson? Is it O.J. Simpson? He was convicted of kidnapping and...
2 memorabilia dealers.
And it doesn't look good. He was actually convicted, and they've got video. The prosecutors have video evidence against him. They have audio evidence against him. They've got numerous witnesses. I like his chances.
You think we're getting away with... you think we've been acquitted of murder. I think we got away with that. You would think after that you'd go, I'm going to keep my head down. You know what I mean? For a little bit.
At least wear a balaclava. He goes up to 2 memorabilia dealers, holds them up, and they go, and when the police come, they go, yeah, it's him on that picture there, or any of the shirts that we sell.
Also, you just think about it, don't you? Think, what a country. Kill your wife, that's fine. Steal 2 signed footballs, life imprisonment.
Do people collect any of your bits and pieces, Jimmy? Do you have memorabilia? Did anyone collect anything of yours?
I think you should have a range of tabletop wargaming miniatures that all look like you.
Just use Lego men. Little Lego men.
Yeah, look, they've got his haircut.
You can talk, you're copying my haircut.
Mine's hip. It's a bit Hoxton. There you go.
Literally, that's it. That's all.
50 quid says someone comes on now to sort it out.
I'll do it. It's all right. I'm professional. OK, shall we have a look and see whether OJ is one of the most talked about things this week? Yay! Incredibly, the second most talked about thing this week. This is the story that O.J. Simpson has been convicted of kidnap and armed robbery. On the plus side for O.J., at least the man who killed his wife is finally behind bars. OK, what else have the nation been talking about, Jason?
It's probably the economic crisis again. I don't know a lot about global economics,
No.
That sounds like the start of a song.
I don't know much about global economics. I love you, baby.
They're sort of saying now that they're going to save the banks. £50 billion pounds they're going to save the banks, which is 1,600 quid to each of the taxpayers, right? That's how much it's going to cost us. And I thought to myself, surely they could do it, they could fix it with emergency tax, right? You remember when you, like, get a job, when you first start a job, and you get your paycheck and you go, you've been working your arse off all week, and they go, £12.40. You go, oh, where's the rest of my money? Oh, it's emergency tax, right? You can get it back in a few weeks or in April or something. Do that, but with those bankers who are getting away with £3 million severage pay, get them ringing the tax office next week going, hey, I'm supposed to have £3 million here, but I've only got £15. What's happened? It's emergency tax, knobhead. Deal with it.
It would work, yeah. Well, it would work. We all knew deep down that this bubble of prosperity we've enjoyed in recent years would burst. And I hope we learned some lessons. I think there's some important lessons to be learned.
What have you learned?
Well, I think I've learnt from the subprime crisis that if you lend a lot of money to people who have no way of paying that money back, they might not pay that money back. It's the kind of thing, you can only learn that by trial and error. Yeah. Oh, that's the only way to learn.
The last time where the world experienced this was in 1929. There was a great crash. And the reason people don't really know much about it or the reasons behind it is because when you're at school, you learn about the Tudors. Which is very bleeding useful, isn't it? So you've lost your house or your savings, but if Henry VIII comes up in a pub quiz, watch me go to work.
Let's have a look and see whether the economy is one of the most talked about things this week. Of course it is. Yes, this is the ongoing story of the economic crisis. Pension funds have been hugely affected. Here's a message for people who are retiring in the next few weeks. You're not retiring. Things have got so bad, the property ladder is now a snake. Fingers on buzzers, what else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the cabinet reshuffle and the return of Mandelson? That's how you have to say it. Return of Mandelson.
See, I think Gordon Brown's furious. It's a typing error. He asked for Mandela. He thought, he'll make me look good. No way. Mandelson! No!
There's also speculation that Blunkett is going to go back to the cabinet room. He's not supposed to. It's just the dog keeps going there out of habit.
That's the interesting thing about it is that term reshuffle suggests a very sort of random way of choosing people in government. Like you just get to their cars, go, brrr, let's see who's going to be Transport Minister. Oh, Anton de Beck. In Home Office, Pele. Who wouldn't want Pele in their government?
OK, let's see if the reshuffle is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of the cabinet reshuffle resulting in the return of Peter Mandelson. Peter Mandelson's been brought back because of his expertise. Gordon Brown needs someone to resign. OK, got one more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers. Sean.
Is it Boris Johnson sacked Ian Blair, the head of the Metropolitan Police Commission? Which must be...
Boris's resignation, didn't he actually sack?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
But it is the same thing, absolutely, yeah.
Kind of sacked him, which is a very humiliating thing. He's been sacked by Boris Johnson. It's like being sacked by Coco the Clown. And also the fact that Boris has got...
I haven't said anything. I didn't say a word.
Just pick up your game, all right?
It's frightening to think now that Boris has actually got power. It's terrifying.
When I came back, I thought it was one of the new characters on Little Britain with all the content. So that's great. I thought to myself.
Yeah. Should we have a look and see whether Sir Ian Blair is one of the most talked about things this week?
You betcha.
Yes, it is. Yes, this is the story. Britain's top policeman, Sir Ian Blair, has resigned. It is claimed Sir Ian was forced out of his job. Well, it could have been worse. He could have been forced to the floor of a tube train and repeatedly shot in the head. I can tell you, at the end of that round, Sean's team have 3 points, Jason's team have 2 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Jason, Kelly and Andy, your turn first. What do you like the look of?
Ooh. Well, we've got Jesus there. We're going to go with the big JC.
OK, in a poll to find the most famous person of all time, Jesus Christ, of Nazareth fame, came second. But who came first?
The only way this can stop us offending anyone is if number one is God. And number three is the Holy Spirit. That's the only way this is going to work.
Jimmy, where am I?
You are...
in the world.
I moved up.
What about Michael Jackson?
Correct.
Am I is it real?
Wow. Genuinely, that is correct.
I only know that because my roommate's obsessed with Michael Jackson and he's the one that told me that.
Your roommate?
Yes.
You've got a roommate?
Yes, I do.
She's on day release.
No, I'm not on day release.
You on day release?
No, but there is a mental institution near where I live. They let people out on day releases.
There's a mental institution where you live?
Near where I live. And they let people out on day releases.
How's your dad?
Fine. Shut up.
Yeah, the most famous person of all time is Michael Jackson. Of course, Michael Jackson was most famous in the 1980s. Kids today might not know his music, but they could pick him out of a lineup. Because he's very recognisable. I used to love Michael Jackson, but now I just think he's a pale imitation of the man he used to be. What do you like the look of, Sean?
I like the doctor.
OK, who would Brits prefer to live next door to, a doctor or a celebrity? What do you think?
Celebrity. We're all nosy bastards. I want to know what they're doing.
You are a celebrity.
I'm a celebrity's daughter. It's different.
You're a celebrity in your own right now.
Why? Because I've had too many tantrums.
No, because you've had your own TV show. You're on TV right now.
You sound like our agent. You're a celebrity in your own right now. You really are.
No, really.
Believe. Now go and fly.
It depends, really, doesn't it, what celebrity and what doctor? Because if it was like a celebrity, it was like Andy, that'd be quite useful, wouldn't it, every time you need a shelf or a door putting up or your radiator's bleeding, he'd be there for you. But if it's a doctor like Shipman, I might leave it.
I bet Handy Andy sitting home going, I can't believe I got mentioned. Who would Brits prefer to live next door to, a doctor or a celebrity?
I wouldn't want to live next door to a doctor for reasons, because I don't like doctors. Fair enough, they save your life. I'll give them that. But they have that contemptuous look in their face, don't they? Like, I'm a doctor. What have you done with your life? And now you're ill. You know, I don't like doctors. I think they're scum.
Sometimes they have to take your temperature like that, Sean. Get over it.
I've had the worst one. I've had the camera down the penis. I've had the
camera down the penis too.
Wow. Yeah.
Why did you need a camera up your willy?
Look, I'll show you. I'll show you guys.
I actually looked then, I couldn't stop looking.
Why does no one want to film the inside of my penis?
I know it sounds painful having a camera put in. This was all unpleasant, but this move...
What, with mine, they didn't do that with mine. They tied the end of it to an ambulance and waited for an emergency call. I pee now, it takes about half a second. It's just a big... It's like tipping a bucket of water out.
So, would you rather live next door to a doctor or a celebrity?
I think it's probably doctor. People would rather live next door.
I can tell you that 31% of homeowners would prefer to live next door to a doctor and just 5% wanted a celebrity. So if your neighbour was Gillian McKeith, then you'd be living next door to neither. Of course, Gillian McKeith isn't a real doctor. She's from You Are What You Eat. She ate a doctor. She thinks that's how it works. So at the end of that round, Sean, Alex and Stuart have 4 points. Jason, Kelly and Andy have 3 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
This weekend in Sutton Coldfield, there is the World Lola Balling Championship. The what? Well, I'll show you, because we've got, on the Wider Weight Club, the current world champion, American Tim Darlington.
Got to bear in mind, he's the world champion. He is the best at that.
I wonder if before the shoot he wondered if, do these shorts make me look stupid?
OK, so your related question is, more people would like to time travel to the 80s than the 60s. Is that true or false?
You could go back to Liverpool in the 60s, right? Go to the Cavern Club, dress as a gypsy, right? And then go up to Paul McCartney and go, beware of one-legged women. I think the thing about the 60s is everyone talks about you going back to the 60s. It's all, you know, it's either really cool and trendy or it's like Heartbeat. You know, the 60s is very sort of fluffy and lovely. And the 60s, you know, nothing really bad. They reversed into a lamb or a district nurse lost her bicycle pump. I'd go back to 1936, Nuremberg, right? And I put a banana skin on the stage. So, totally changed the course of human history. Hitler walks up to give his speech. Millions of Germans going, he's an idiot.
There's other people who would have taken over Hitler's job, though. If to get rid of Hitler, you know, Goebbels would have come in.
Not taking one banana back to 36. when Hitler goes, whoa! And then they go, right, Goebbels, I'll put another one down.
Maybe in the future, a time machine gets invented and you already have done that, and that's how they got the Nazi walk originally,
In fact,
right? Oh! Look like this. They go. Whoa!
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
One time I came home from school, my dad was drunk in a Nazi outfit in the living room. So I was like, okay, see you later.
I was going to say, my dad read the paper and took the dog out last week. Just a less exciting life I've got.
Alexandra, what would you choose, 60s or 80s?
Is it? Are we actually definitely talking about?
We're not definitely doing it. It's just a question.
Right. Is it the?
I know what you're thinking. Would my trousers be cool?
Oh, it's a lot to think about. I want to impress wherever I go.
I'd go back and I'd tell a school child me, right, and I'd tell him, listen, nobody knows you had that fight with Kevin Sanderson. Nobody cares.
Did you have a fight with Kevin Sanderson?
I battered him.
You're off this show. Get off. OK, so the question again, more people would rather go back to the 80s than the 60s.
True. We're going to go true.
You're going true?
Different.
You're going false? I can tell you the answer is false. Yeah, more people wanted to go back to the 60s. If I could time travel, I'd go back to 2008, when I was a humble TV presenter, before the war, before the machines, before I got it together with Sarah Connor. So at the end of that round, it's 5 points for Sean's team and 3 points to Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Most embarrassing thing about parents.
Having them.
What's the most embarrassing thing they've done?
I think it was like my 5th birthday. My dad locked all of us into a garden shed and then put the werewolf outfit from Bark at the Moon on and ran around the shed, and all the kids cried and went home.
My dad makes tea every night.
It's another vintage anecdote from the Zoltzman household.
The most embarrassing thing my dad does is in restaurants with that chip and pin machine. What he does when it comes over, he likes to go, oh yeah, all right. Hello.
Hello. It's hearing them have sex and seeing a group of strangers standing around the car.
I recognise that car. Hang on.
My dad's not very embarrassing. The only thing he does is he likes arguing with people. He really likes arguing with people in shops or restaurants. I once had an argument when I was a kid in a fruit and veg shop because the way the bloke put the celery into the bag. And he shoved it in. You know, you'd shove it in from the bottom, from like the root of the celery, put it in like that. The bloke put it in that way. My dad said, well, it's ruined now, isn't it? He said, you've ruined it. You've probably bruised some of the apples and things. He said, I'll tell you what you do with your bag of fruit and veg. He just tipped it all out over the floor. I went, there you go. What do you think of that? And just walked out. And then, of course, we all got scurvy.
Is it your mum getting angry about the amount of times you use a door in a day? There's like a cut-off point with mums where there's like, you're not allowed to use the door. They don't tell you how many times you're allowed to use the door. But at some point in the day, you'll have used it too many times. You'll just hear, right, that's it now. You're either in or you're out.
Is it taste in music?
That is the correct answer. The most embarrassing thing about parents is their taste in music. My mum's got her finger on the pulse. Dad keeps on having heart attacks. OK, Britain's top fear.
Is it the internet breaking and us all after doing a bit of work? There'll be no Wikipedia, no Facebook, no sexymilfs.com.
Is it finding yourself sitting in a comfy armchair, your partner to one side of you, and then suddenly Jeremy Kyle's there asking you a question?
I think people are most afraid of spiders.
Is the correct answer.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, correct answer. Yes, Britain's top fear is spiders. Don't worry about spiders. What's the worst that could happen? You could swallow one. Not a problem. Swallow a bird. I know it sounds absurd, but then you could swallow a cat. Fancy that? Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Alex and Stuart have 6 points, Jason, Kelly and Andy have 4 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
Queen of Comedy, Sarah Silverman. Welsh Boy Wonder, Steve Jones. And their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, King of the Red Tops, Kelvin McKenzie. Northern Light, Alan Cochran. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 37% of bingo winners don't tell their other halves about their windfall? And that's because their husbands are dead. 57% of British school kids think that Germany is the most boring country in Europe, which is a good thing. We had interesting Germany. And humans and dolphins are the only mammals that have sex for pleasure. But a dog will do it for a biscuit. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most talked about talking points. Jason, Steve, Sarah.
Super Gordon Brown. Flash Gordon. Yeah.
A one-eyed genius.
One-eyed genius. He sorted the country out. He sorted the world out.
You know that there's this thing about a baby boom going on. That during the credit crunch, people are staying in more and having kids. And me and my wife, well, we're not married, but I call her wife because girlfriend sounds too insignificant. Partner I don't like, and lodger she hates. So... We're having a baby. We're having another baby. And on Thursday, when the sort of financial system was really going into meltdown, we had a scan. We had a 20-week scan, and the sonographer was scanning her stomach, and she turned to me and she said, "Do you want to know whether it's a boy or a girl?" And the first thought that came to my head was, "I'd rather know if my money's safe at Lloyd's."
You know this £50 billion that we've paid the banks? Is it still going to take 5 days to clear? Or will it amazingly clear straight away?
But one of the problems has been that people are spending more than they've got, just as society. It's become visible, even. I knew it. I spotted it months ago. I saw a Bentley car in Dewsbury. Now, that's a £200,000 car, and Dewsbury itself is only worth £180,000.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I don't know that much about it. I know Iceland are involved somewhere. Does that mean there's any chance of Kerry Katona losing her Iceland contract? Because she is the reason I and druggy mums go to Iceland. Can anyone answer that?
The confusing thing about it is Iceland, the country, do actually own Iceland, the business.
No way.
They definitely do.
I'd like to see the new strapline, like, Mum's gone to Iceland to get our money back.
In the 70s, there was a war over cod.
In the 70s, there was a war over... All right, tell us more about this, Granddad. one of his war stories.
Here to learn, you didn't know that, right? So there's a war over cod, right? So if there was a war over cod, what kind of war is there going to be over billions being stolen by the Icelanders?
We've got nuclear weapons and they haven't. So we should say to them, look, give us the money back or we'll turn you into dust land.
Let's have a look and see whether the economy is one of the most talked about things this week.
Of course it is.
Of course. Yes, this is the ongoing economic crisis. Critics say the government's rescue plan is too little, too late. I disagree. I think it's just enough. Too late. Sean, Alan and Kelvin, what else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the government's plan to sort of curb excessive drinking? Like bars, I didn't realise this, bars give free drinks to women. I didn't know that. So it's sort of like a trap. So they're going to stop them giving free drinks. In a bar, women will accept free drinks. If I stand on my front step with a can of Kestrel and a woman goes past and goes, do you want a swig? They run off.
There's something different between being at a bar and people giving you drinks and having your spit on a bottle outside your house.
What I do, Sarah, is I pour it into my shoe so they don't have to take it from the house.
My mistake.
Do you get bought drinks in bars?
I don't drink. I wish I did. I have like a Jewish stomach.
You might have to explain that because we don't have Jews here. Do Americans drink a lot?
Americans, they get kind of, when they drink, I don't know how it is here, but it gets kind of like a date rapey feel.
No, it's a pretty similar vibe, yeah.
Except a date rapey.
I'm so wasted. What do you guys want to do?
Because they were going to put, like, stickers on the side of drinks, aren't they? Like, pictures of, like, diseased livers and stuff like that. And I think that is not going to put people off. What they want to do is, like, have a picture of just, like, a fat woman in a bed, just like, and then underneath just saying, see you later, lover boy.
OK, I can tell you binge drinking is not one of the most talked about things this week. Jason's team, what else have the nation been talking about?
The election in the United States, it's really do or die because it's Barack Obama, who's awesome, and John McCain, who's horrifying, and even more horrifying, his running mate, Sarah Palin. She is everything gross about a pageant contestant, but without the desire for, like, world peace. Really?
Yeah.
I went to a fundraiser for Barack Obama, and it was really exciting because it was in Los Angeles, and it was really like a who's who, and I could walk right up to him. You know, this was like a year ago, and I wanted to think of a smart question, you know, so I go up to him, and I'm like, Senator Obama, when you were a student in Boston, did you encounter any racism? And he said something really interesting. He said, I'm Kanye West.
You did that amazing YouTube thing for Barack Obama in Florida.
Monkey's Point.
Oh, I'm just sort of...
I'm sorry, what? You were complimenting me.
That's all right. So I point and I get that. Cool.
No, I'm sorry. Amazing video.
Steve! Steve! Come on, Steve, come on. You did the long schlep. What's that?
The Great Schlep is a video I made, and basically all it is getting young Jewish kids to go to Florida and convince their grandparents to vote Obama. To be totally honest, it was really just to get all the Jews in one place. You have to keep an eye on them.
Yeah. I suppose grandparents are always desperate for a visit, aren't they?
Exactly, that's the thinking
Most
behind
old people are so lonely, if you told them Harold Shipman was coming for tea, they'd put the kettle on. Well, there you go. I don't mind. He might kill me, but I'll keep my wits about me.
There seems to be a constant theme of old.
Don't worry, by the time you think about complaining, you'll have forgot. So, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Who do you think's going to win, sir?
I pray to the God I can't imagine exists that it's Obama, but Honestly, if McCain wins, I'm going to move. I guess I'll have to go to Jewsbury.
And do you know what? I think the local community would make you feel very welcome in Dewsbury.
Or burn you as a witch. It'd be one or the other. Let's have a look and see whether the US election is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it is. Yes, yet again. Yes, this is the US election campaign. I would definitely choose Sarah Palin for the job, if the job was skinning a moose while shooting an abortion doctor. Sean, Kelvin and Alan, what else of the nation are we talking about?
McDonough and Guy Ritchie have finally chucked in their hand and said, bollocks to the lot of you, we're getting divorced, where's my 150 million quid?
Yeah, well, apparently there's no prenup. Guy didn't sign a prenup, so he might get £50 million off Madonna. Wow. Ka-ching.
I just think that Guy's very lucky he's got a kid with her because I can't help but feel that Madonna would have him killed otherwise. She's done it before. She's done it before.
With who?
What's
Steve Irwin, Stingray, please, convenient. Very convenient.
Why did she kill him?
I don't want to go into it, Sean. I'm not going to go into it on TV.
No, I think McCartney's single, Madonna together.
Are you trying to create the perfect divorce?
Yeah.
That's too many legs.
And Guy I feel sorry for, because he's been spending nights at Sting's and Trudy's house. You think, how depressing is that? You're splitting up with your missus and they're going at it for 12 hours a day in the next room. Every so often, Sting pops in to talk about the Chinese economy or how trees cry when you punch them.
Let's see if Madonna and Guy Ritchie are one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the news that Madonna and Guy Ritchie are to divorce. The only surprise is that the marriage between the world's worst actress and Britain's least talented director didn't spawn more hit movies. Madonna is actually 50, but she's got the body of a man half her age.
So hard.
Fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to get. What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the House of Lords rejecting the 42-day detention situation for terrorist suspects? I think if they're terrorists, then 42 days is all right, but if they're not, then it's a bit out of order.
Wise words.
That's my opinion.
You need 42 days to torture someone? My mother can do it in 8 minutes.
Maybe she should have a little wander down to Guantanamo.
It doesn't take 42 days. If I was in there, I'd go, right, are you a terrorist? No. Are you sure? Yeah, all right, forget it then, forget it. God, I hate the West, don't you? Yeah. Ah, got ya!
Okay, well, let's have a look and see whether the 42-day detention plan is one of the most talked about things this week. Of course it is. OK, one more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers. Jason.
Is it the Beckhams' housekeepers? They've been arrested on suspicion of stealing some of the Beckham stuff and whacking it on eBay.
They have denied it.
And I thought, who's buying Posh's clothes? The only people they're going to fit is people who haven't even got water in their village, never mind Wi-Fi.
It's famine victims with PayPal.
When you think in the moment of this credit crunch or whatever, people are losing their homes and their savings and their jobs, and he's lost a boot. Fuck off. I just said that. Yeah. Apparently she was totally devastated. She was totally devastated, which can't help feeling she's got her sort of emotions set to sort of like oversensitive. I wonder how she copes with things like tsunami. Where does she go after
Who doesn't know that label? Is it new?
Should we have a look and see whether Posh and Becks are one of the most talked about things this week? Yes, this is the story that the Beckhams' British housekeepers have been accused of selling their stuff on eBay. Beckham has increased security so he doesn't lose anything else. He's put an extra strong piece of elastic on his mittens. At the end of that round, Sean's team has 1 point, Jason's team have 4 points. Wow. So next round is pick of the polls. Sean, Kelvin and Alan, you're first. What do you like the look of?
Yeah, let's go for the Queen.
Let's go for the Queen.
OK. 37% of people think the Queen has what?
A lot of sponging relatives, how about that? Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Go on.
Died.
I know what it is. The Queen has white finger. You know that sort of problem you get from too much drilling? You get white finger, your finger shakes, it's like that, it's always shaking. It can really hurt after a few years. She's been on the Kango in her spare time. She has a big concrete wall built, she just...
Another son. Hidden.
A secret son, yeah.
Is it has regular sex with Philip?
I'm going to give you that. That is near enough. But in fact, 37% of British people think the Queen has the odd quickie. The Queen recently asked Prince Philip to show her the crown jewels and was very disappointed to receive a 3-hour tour of the Tower of London. Talking about the Queen having sex is actually a bit of a grey area.
That is not funny. Fuck off. Right, now you fuck off. Right, OK, the game's changed now, right? Vile comes out, right? Fuck off. Right, here we go. I'm the captain. Right, here we go.
OK, Sarah, Steve, Jason, what picture do you like the look of?
Let's go with a woman who's got these American flags for ears.
It's Nana Silverman.
Oh, look at her.
Did you say Nana Silverman?
Yeah.
Oh.
Adorable.
She's dead.
Is she? Well, they've done a lovely job stuffing her. OK, 31% of Americans believe they're under threat from what?
Oh, I know, losing the space race. Booyah. Is that right?
No.
Alien. Is the answer salad?
31% of Americans believe they're under threat from salad.
Or the elastic shortage.
Why aren't kids, or maybe they are, fat here? Kids...
Oh, no, we've got some fat kids, don't worry about that.
It's not their fault because it's fast food we shove down their throats and computers and video games and...
They eat anything.
Fear of molesters and stuff.
Fear of molesters, though, it's terrible because you keep them in the house, feeding them like that, they get fat, and then they can't run away when someone does try and molest them.
That's why they've all got them trainers with wheels on. Quick, a pervert!
Oh, the sneakers.
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, yeah, sneakers.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
so-
should understand. Trainers are sneakers. Remember when you came to New York and you said a joke with trainers and you were like, and it didn't go over at all? And then we were like, yeah, sneakers.
I remember.
Remember when you were the fish out of water?
Yeah, OK.
Jim?
Now, you're over on tour, aren't you?
I'm doing a show on Sunday, the Hammersmith Apollo.
Do you think we'll get it?
You think we'll get it?
I've got the answer.
Yep.
31% of Americans believe they're under threat from Hamburglar.
Salem is the only clue I'll give you.
Witches?
Correct. The right answer. 31% of Americans believe they're under threat from witches. I'd like to reassure Americans that that's not a witch, it's Amy Winehouse. So at the end of that round, I can tell you that Sean, Kelvin and Alan have 1 point. Jason, Sarah and Steve have 6 points.
Oh, my God.
The next round is Believe It or Not. Let's have a look at the clip to illustrate the fact.
This is possibly the most familiar movement that most couples know, right? Of course. It is a forward and backward tilting of the pelvis. Just start out by doing the jump. With practice, you can begin improvising, changing the amount of bend in the knees and letting the arms roam about on each other as you like, or she allows. You can use cheek to cheek at this point and full body contact. And remember, relax and have fun.
Is that the Heimlich manoeuvre?
There's no evidence that that woman's alive.
You should have seen my grandparents at my bat mitzvah. Very similar.
My girlfriend wanted me to reenact that scene from Dirty Dancing, so I went to a holiday camp and slept with a 17-year-old. Your related question. 8% of men have secretly used dancer-sized videos to keep themselves in shape. True or false?
I don't think they're using them to stay in shape, to be honest. I think they're popping them on and going, yeah, I'm just staying in shape, love, that's all I'm doing.
Sarah, are you attracted to a man that can dance?
I like a manly man, but I like a man who will let himself be vulnerable enough to try dancing.
There's 6 blokes here. Let's see, chair dancing, right? Who's got the best moves for Sarah and see which one turns her on.
Yeah, let's definitely start with you.
Let's start with... OK.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good start.
Oh, got a little bit dizzy now. Steve?
Oh, God.
Come on.
I'm going to take a old school...
Oh, no. Sarah's close. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were rubbing a cat.
Is this...
Your turn. There he goes.
You're quite high in the air.
I've actually been dancing for the whole show, but I've been doing the river dance, so there's no upper body movement whatsoever. The whole show I've been dancing away happily. While you lot have been playing your panel game, I've been throwing fucking shapes under here.
There is a version of this show that goes out in Ireland, which is just Alan's feet.
Very popular it is too, but if you want some upper body stuff, what about that?
You realise whoever wins this, you have to fart.
Yeah, here we go.
Now the high point, ladies and gentlemen, what you've all been waiting for.
It's just a bit of that.
Oh, nice.
Not too much, you know. Oh, keep those orderlies away, they're stealing my stuff.
Well, I like to take things slowly, so usually what I do is I start off with...
Sarah, what do you think? Who was the best dancer?
Who was the sexiest?
I wish I could say all of you. I love Jason personally, but I would have to say Sean because he kind of just broke through and it was funny.
Well done, Sean.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Go on, Sean. Go on. Do you want to wait till after?
Can I have it later?
OK, so let's get some guesses. 8% of men have secretly used dancer-sized videos to keep them in shape. What do you think, Sean? Yes or no?
Yeah.
True or false? True? True? Do you think true?
Yeah.
Guess properly.
True.
Fine, near enough. Jason?
I think we're going to go true, actually.
OK, you're going true. I can tell you the answer is true. Yes. Incredibly, 8% of men have used a dancer-sized video. I tried to lose weight with salsa, but I put on 4 stone, mainly because of the Doritos. So at the end of that round, it's 2 points for Sean's team and 7 points to Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. Most desirable superpower.
I'd like to be really smart all the time and have one hand is an iron. I'm always really smart. And everywhere I go, people go, isn't he smart?
Welcome to my world.
My superpower fantasy is invisibility. I would find somebody I hate and take a massive shit over them. No, but think about it. They're sitting there having lunch with their parents. Bang, you're covered in shit. And I'm gone.
This is turning into a real think tank.
Yeah. In Harry Potter, they've got that invisibility cloak, haven't they? But Ron never uses it for evil, does he? It's always for good, isn't it? You never see at any point him sneaking into Hermione's room and having a little look at a Gryffindor.
Sarah, if you could have a superpower, what do you think you go with?
I would want the power to eat anything I want, and then it takes the nutrients out, and then I vomit in like a perfect ball, everything else, but it's mint flavored. Or no, just a fly, I think.
I'll put you down for both.
Okay.
Excellent. If you had a superpower?
I'd like to be able to run faster than the speed of sound.
You should just wish to walk at the speed of us. I'm sorry.
You kind of got it earlier. What did you say earlier?
Invisibility.
Correct answer.
Oh,
I'll do.
Next question. Best way to break up with someone?
You're amazing, but I'm turned off by that.
I remember an ex-girlfriend of mine that I broke up with. She was moaning because she says some shops, there's a conspiracy. And she said to me at one point, she went, why am I a size 10 in that shop, but I'm a size 12 in that shop? I said, well, because there's a McDonald's in the middle, wasn't there? Do you know?
And you broke up because of
and
that?
we broke up over the Big Mac. Not over it, like, give it me, you fat bitch.
You could probably get a pretty clean slate just from like a well-faked death.
What would happen if you bumped into them again?
I didn't think about it that far, Jason.
She just told you she was dead. Move on.
A friend of mine, when his relationships were getting too serious, used to leave his herpes medication lying around.
Friend of yours, was it?
Yeah, friend of mine.
Yeah, you can laugh. I fucked him earlier.
Not you, it's me, or... It's
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK, I'll take it then.
Yes, the best way to break up with someone is to blame yourself. I couldn't find the words to break up with my last girlfriend. There was nothing in the phrase book. In the end, I went with me not love you long time. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Kelvin and Alan have 2 points. Jason, Sarah and Steve are the winners with 9 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and all of you watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.